don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
Sunrise on the horizon. Sky is blue, no denying. News with Skyjack Morgan. Bright and early new dawn. Every headline, every story.
All right. Yes.
Stay informed, stay tuned as the day greets new blue. Good morning headlines. with
Good morning, headlines.
Top stories this
Information for you, darling.
top stories this Thursday on Census Rift.
This story, top stories on Thursday.
Join
us on this daily ride.
Morning side by side.
Catch them.
latest, feel the vibe.
Sky will keep you well supplied. Good morning, headlines with Skyjack Morgan. Yes, you beautiful creatures. RTP talks in another slow seance. Yeah, another show. RTP, yeah, remember RTP, he's on vacation. Think we'll get some more people out here? It's too bad people aren't coming my way. How you feeling, beautiful? How are you feeling, beautiful? There's all these new things going on. Hey, do you make your bed every morning? I want to ask you, do you make your bed every morning? Like, do you wake up and say, I'm going to wake up and make my bed? I'm going to see if I got this. Oh, do you make your bed? Start and show. How do we show it? Oh, right there. How do we get it? How do you do it? 1 is yes and 2 is no. Look, we got this new poll thing. You see it? Do you make your bed every morning? Do you wake up every morning and just make your bed? Man, I do. And then I had a girlfriend that would sleep all goddamn morning, and then I would be done with the show, and then my day's already started, and then I get there and the bed's not made, and I'd be like, "What are you?" And it would like mess with my mojo. Now I wake up, I make the bed. As soon as I get out of bed, I make it. I feel like I'm feeling that little. I feeling because I'm single again. I'm feeling fresh in the morning. I'm waking up. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting the day going. I missed that. I forgot how much I missed that. I used to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, get up, get outside immediately, and I'd make a bunch of noise. It's just me because when someone else is in the bed, they're warm. You don't want to get out of bed when someone else is in the bed, and then it's like. And then you want to be real quiet so you don't wake them up. It's really hard when you wake up earlier than the person you're with. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Do you make your bed in the morning? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. You get to go 1 for yes, 2 for no. I want to know what's the deal and how you feeling this morning. This is the Morning Sky show, by the way, not the Make Your Bed show. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. I am a free speech and critical thinking advocate who's independent. Both parties hate me, and I hate both parties, and that's all right. Ben from Berlin is a no. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. It affects the witch. That's pretty cool. Hey, I didn't know that it would do that. That's really cool. This is the first time I'm using this poll here. The first time the poll is here. I see 2 but 1 kinda. I don't know how that works. Did you get? You can't vote for both, Parallelish. 2 but kinda 1. 2, but I have a 1 GF. Oh, your GF makes the bed. I thought it was the Make Your Bed show. Then I kept scrolling. I'm sorry, it's not the Make Your Bed show. This is the who's that Canadian guy who's always sick? Who's that Canadian guy that's always sick and always telling people to make their bed? What's that guy's name? I'm gonna cry because boys and men are they're really sad. Oh, what's that guy's name? That Canadian? Come on, Jordan Peterson. Yes, this is the Jordan Peterson Show. Welcome to the Jordan Peterson Show, everybody. Make your bed if you're a real man. Real men make their own beds. God, this guy. God. These conservatives are always crying, and yet they're always like, well, you crybaby libtards. Although libtards do cry a lot. I don't know. I think everyone cries a little bit too much these days, to be totally honest with you, on both sides. On both sides. There are crying people on both sides. Criers. There are criers on both sides. Both sides is what it is. Clean your room, bucko. My father was like Midwestern. He would say stuff like, pick up your room. You ever get that one? Pick up your room. You sound like a drunken Yoda. That's what I think Jordan Peterson sounds like, as a drunken Yoda. Make your bed. Oh, the boys are having a hard time. James Bond says too, it looks like the no's have it. You guys are just slovenly, huh? You're just slovenly. You just wake up, you're like, fuck the bed. You know, I like making the bed in the morning. And then every time I go back, because you know what? When I lived in Japan, I rolled up my bed every morning. You know, I slept on a futon on the ground, and I missed those days. So when I moved back to the United States, I lived like that. I always had a futon that I rolled out every morning, and I rolled up every day. I rolled out every night and rolled up every morning. You know what I mean? When I was using it, it was out. When I wasn't, it was rolled up in the corner. And I always loved that because it was like the room is open. All of a sudden, I have this brand new open room. It's so weird to have a bedroom, and the only thing in there is this big old bed, and you can barely move around it. You know, it's if you think about how claustrophobic bedrooms are because of this giant piece of furniture that we stick in the middle of it, it's annoying, right? It's annoying. So I like having the low bed. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about getting rid of my big bed. I don't like it. I'm on this huge bed. I like just having a small fold-up bed, like a Japanese. My days in Japan, man, I loved that about living in Japan. Loved that. Loved it. Is he still alive? He's still alive. Jordan Peterson never will die. He never will die. But he's always sick. He's always sick. Okay, it looks like the nays have it. The nays have it. All right, we got a lot going on today. It's really exciting. Your ears lowered. Oh, no, I cut my own hair, you know. Sometimes I let it, in the summer, I cut a little shorter. I cut my hair a little shorter. I believe in self-reliance. I'm like, Jordan Peterson, cut your own hair. Ooh. You hate your bed? I'm sorry, Frankie Barry. I'm sorry, Frankie. Sorry about, I don't like having a bed that's like 3 feet, 4 feet tall or whatever. I don't know how high a bed is. I like having something that I can put away. It's just, it's annoying to have this big piece of furniture that you only use 8 hours a day. Anyway, manscaping. I like to cut my own hair. I like to do my own dishes. I like to make my own bed. You know what I'm saying? I like to do that shit. I think self-reliance is good. Looks like you guys are a bunch of slovenly bastards, though. No's have it. Cool. I'm not judging. Slovenly is a term of endearment, I think, in some cultures. Some cultures, right? Isn't that the way it is? Yeah, I think so too. All right. Well, I hope that you guys all had a beautiful morning this morning. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. And boy, are my arms tired. Did a good job. Thank you. I don't get 8 hours of sleep anymore. I don't either. I sleep about 5 hours a day, and then I meditate twice a day. That's how I do it. 5 hours of sleep, 2 meditations. I cut my own hair, but my wife cleans up the back. Nice. I have a mirror. I do it like this. Actually, now I don't use the mirror anymore while I'm doing it. I just do it blind, and then I check with the mirror, and then I do it blind again, and then I check with the mirror again. That's how I cut my own hair on the back. Yeah, I'm a slob. Beard is down to my sternum. That doesn't mean you're a slob just because the beard's down to your sternum. You could be like Gimli. You look like Gimli? Frankie Barry? Long beards. Positrack, you look like Gimli? That's all right. Well, okay. Well, the poll's over. Thank you for participating. That was fun. I'm going to hide that poll. I'm going to stop that poll. All right. Thank you so much for being here. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. My name is Skyjack Morgan. This is where we try to engage critically with the news. We react to it. We think about it. We wonder about it. What's going on with it? Is the children learning? Is we at war? Where is we on education? Remember Mark Wayne Muller? But George W. Bush did that too. It's hard. Subject-verb agreement is difficult. Is our children learning? That's what George W. Bush said when he did something with the Department of Education. And Mark Wayne Mullen, the head of Homeland Security, said, where is we on our scores? Where was we on our scores? Where is we on our scores today? Not high, Mr. Mark Wayne Mullen. We're not on the top. On Fortune's cap, we are not its very button. Where is we learning? Is we learning? Or is we ain't? Is you is or is you ain't my baby? Is you is or is you ain't my baby?
Attacks on Lebanon have violated the conditional ceasefire with the U.S.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Are you telling me that Israel broke a ceasefire already? We just had a cease. This is why we can't have nice things, everybody. Israel broke a ceasefire? What? Something there. Thousands of people have died in Gaza, been murdered, not like died of disease or whatever, been murdered since the ceasefire. And Israel's breaking the ceasefire with Lebanon? Oh, no.
Tehran is also accusing the U.S. of violating multiple clauses of the deal's framework. Local media is reporting Iran is considering pulling out of the agreement. He's talking.
They're considering pulling out of the agreement. If these guys are still bombing you, how is there an agreement? There was never an agreement. I told you can't trust the United States. Ask the Arapaho Indians, man. You can't trust the United States government. You're gonna think that they're gonna honor the ceasefire, honor treaties? You think that we're just gonna what treaty have we honored ever? What has the American government signed and been like, nope, ink on paper, we got to respect that. We respect the rule of law in America. Once we sign something, you can trust us. The Lannisters always pay their debts. America always follows the contract. That's what we do in America, contracts. We love contracts in America. If you're poor, you follow the contract. If you're rich, we shred the contract right in your face and we throw it in your face.
Are set to begin in Pakistan tomorrow. And last night, President Trump had a new warning for Iran. In a social media post, the president announced all U.S. military assets will remain in the Middle East. He went on to write, if the terms of the ceasefire were not met, then, quote, the shootin' starts.
The shootin' starts. The shootin' start. The rootin' tootin' shootin' starts. Rackus frackus.
Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters the president has all the cards in this fight.
We have all the cards. We got all the cards. You think you got the cards? We got the cards. You thought we had the cards, but we got the cards. You thought you had the cards, but we got other cards.
Sir, we're playing Uno.
Yeah, and I got all the cards, which makes me the best Uno player of all time.
Sir,
with tears in his eyes. He's telling me with tears in his eyes. Big tough man, tears in his eyes. Sir, you're only supposed to have one card in Uno.
We only have one card.
Wants to let this negotiation fall apart in a conflict where they were getting hammered over Lebanon, which has nothing to do with them and which the United States never once said was part of the ceasefire. That's ultimately their choice. We think that would be dumb, but that's their choice.
These fucking guys, man. That's their choice. If they don't like it, that's what they're going to do. That's what these guys always act like Regina George just got broken up with. They always act like Regina George just got dumped, you know? Well, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. I'm going to write a really mean thing about them in my burn book. And the burn book is just public. It's Twitter. It's literally Regina George vibes, except Regina George just got dumped and everything's going in her burn book.
And Iranian media outlets are reporting that Tehran is suspending tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. White House says President Trump is aware of those reports, but says they're false.
Oh, they're false? It's not true? It looks like no one's going through that. Yeah, so let me look at this map here. So I see there are no boats in the Strait of Hormuz. But Donald Trump, it says it's a false report. Fake news! Well, you see, we have GPS on all these boats, you see. And none of them are in the Strait of Hormuz.
It's fake. It's all fake news. Fake news. The strait is open.
It is? It doesn't seem like it's open.
Despite the ceasefire deal, very few vessels have actually passed.
There's one coming. There's one. Oh, no.
Iran is setting back the Federal Reserve's battle with inflation to 2024 levels. Tomorrow's consumer price index is expected to show that March prices jumped at a 3.3% annual pace. That's
3.3%? That's bigger than Biden. Oh, my gosh. 3.3%. That's bigger than... That's 3.3%. That's a big inflationary jump. Generally, anything over 3% is like, hold your... oh, my God. Hold on to your tits because we're going in. Like, that's what 3.3% is like, oh, my God. Not yet. Don't get too scared yet. Anything over 3 is a little worrying. But 3 is kind of like that. Because the reason why I say that is because they used to, in the old days when I was a corporate man, they used to just give you a 3% CPI raise every year. So when you were at your job, you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to ask for a raise. They just give you a 3% raise every year because inflation is about 2.5 to 3% generally. It's a little sometimes lower, sometimes higher, but usually it's around there. So anytime it goes over 3, that means that you're not keeping up with inflation. But here's the trick. Here's the funny thing. They don't give raises like that anymore. Inflation raises, they don't do that shit anymore. CPI raises, forget it. Consumer price index raises, they don't really do that anymore because you're just getting screwed at work. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Has anyone gotten a CPI or cost of living raise? Has anybody gotten one of those in years? A lot of times they postpone them. Even when I was at MGM, they would say, we're postponing that this year. And you can't do anything about it. And it's for profit growth protection. That's what they said. Profit growth protection plan. So ridiculous. So they stopped doing the CPI. You got one recently? Good for you. Good for you. You remember your dad getting those? Yeah. When he worked for Boeing, that was pretty normal back in the day. So the point is, even if he was getting them today, right now he'd be losing money because we're at 3.3%. You're with me? 0.3%, who cares? But the truth is most people aren't getting the CPI. So all of you and me, all of us just lost 3% of our paycheck. 3%. And, that doesn't make a huge difference to us, 3%. But when you think about the whole year and all the shit you buy, it can add up big time.
It's almost 1% higher than in February. We have team coverage for you this morning. Elizabeth Palmer is in Tel Aviv with the latest on the fighting. But let's begin with CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, Michael. We are just a day and a half into what's supposed to be a 2-week ceasefire, and all.
Yeah, it's not a ceasefire. It never was a ceasefire. We don't believe in ceasefires in America. Donald Trump said he doesn't believe in ceasefire, and then a day later said he had a ceasefire. There's no ceasefire. There never was a ceasefire. There never will be a ceasefire. There's not a ceasefire. If Israel's bombing Lebanon the day after the ceasefire is signed, and the ink on the paper ain't even wet, that ain't a ceasefire.
And we're starting this hour with that breaking news that we've been following, that urgent search for survivors continuing right now in Philadelphia's Grace Ferry neighborhood after this parking garage partially collapsed. And take a look at this video just into our newsroom from a nearby Ring camera. It shows several floors of that garage as they came collapsing down to the ground yesterday. The partial collapse.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Sandurko. It's a lot when you're on a fixed income. It's totally true. It's a lot when you're on it's a lot. Well, everyone's sort of on it. I know what you mean, a fixed income, but like, not everyone's making a whole lot more money every year. You know what I mean? It's not like from one year to the other, you get this huge raise and you're going to beat the 3%. So every year over the years. So if you haven't gotten a raise since 2020, then you are now making something like 20% lower than what you were making in 2020. You feel me? You are now 20% broker than you were in 2020 if you haven't gotten a raise since then. And a lot of people haven't. A lot of people just don't get raises.
Killing a construction worker. 2 others still unaccounted for this morning. CBS News Philadelphia's Waukesha Bailey. She's been live there for us all morning. And Waukesha, this has been a careful and desperate search underway.
Yeah, good morning, Janelle. That's absolutely right. You know, crews have been out here working around the clock since last night and even early into this morning. Now, let's just take a look from an aerial view from Chopper 3, and you can see.
Wow, this thing just totally just destroyed itself. The amount of taxes Americans pay is vomit-inducing. It reallocated our taxes. People shouldn't even know about people being on fixed income with what the government gets. I know. What the vomit-inducing part to me is that I pay all this money in taxes and I don't get anything in return except for bombs in Iran. And that ain't what I thought I was buying when you took my money. You know what I mean? You put a gun to my head, you stole my money, and then you went and killed Iranians with it. Like, that's not what I thought you were doing with it. What are you doing, man? You're supposed to put a gun to my head, take my money, and build, I don't know, fill potholes and make sure the interstate highway system's working and that all the bridges are safe and, you know, that the poor people aren't robbing me. Give the poor people that are super duper poor a piece of the action, and then they don't break into people's houses. It's so great, you know what I mean? That's what we're supposed to be doing with all that money. But no, we gotta go bomb people because America, because we're the dumbest country on planet Earth. Brilliant. Let's do it. The value of stability. Forgive us. Yeah, I mean, seriously, the value of stability. That's what the promise is, right? The promise is stability. I'm not Mr. I want everything to be stable all the time. I want freedom and liberty. But if you're going to put a gun to my head and take all my money, the thing that you're supposed to give me in return is stability. That's what corporatism is supposed to look like. Yep. Well, at least the profiter, you know, the capitalists are profiting a little bit each year. The people aren't in the street with pitchforks and guns and violence and torches. And we're not at war. We're at peace at home and abroad. That's the promise. And they're not living up to their promise. I'm not saying it's a good system. You already know I'm an independent. I hate this system. But they're not even living up to their end of this bullshit bargain that we're in. The social contract has been broken. That's all.
Just how massive this collapse is, where, as you just mentioned, you can see this garage that is partially caved in. You can see all of the debris that is scattered around. Officials are calling this structure unstable and unsafe. That's why it's so...
Man, it's so crazy. Imagine you just walking around and this thing falls on you. What a bummer.
New this morning, a potential shakeup of U.S. troops in Europe, with the White House now considering a major shift of American forces across NATO countries based on how they've helped the war effort.
Oh, they're going to punish everyone that didn't help us out in our surprise war? What?
According to the Wall Street Journal, the War Department may move troops out of countries in the alliance that have not pulled their weight to countries that have backed the mission.
Great.
National News Desk's Christine Frizzat was live on Capitol Hill with the latest, and this would be very significant if this happened. Good morning to you.
Yeah, John, we've heard the president criticize NATO for years, but this potential action of moving troops would be significant. He has been vocal in his anger at countries like Spain, Italy, France, and Germany, which have either blocked the use of airspace or have criticized the war. There are about 84,000 U.S. troops across Europe, and the president posted on Truth Social, quote, "NATO wasn't there when we needed them, and they won't be there if we need them again."
Perfect. Bring them home, and we can have riots. You know what happens when they do this in summertime? Let's do it. But every single time you bring something like tens of thousands of troops home during a summertime, and no one has any work, no one has any school because school's out in the summer, you get riots every single time they do this. Look throughout history. Every time we pull out of a country that we've been bombing and putting troops into, like when we pulled out of Iraq or Afghanistan, we always have riots in this country and uptick in violence because we take soldiers that have been like this for years. Although these guys, you know, they're in Europe, they're not like this, but we train them to use guns. We do all these things. We separate them from their families and all that. It's a hard job. And then we take them, we throw them back into America where there are no jobs. It's hot as shit in the summertime. Everyone's outside and no one's in school, and it's very, very stressful. Now you're back in America, and people start killing each other every single time we do this. So go for it, man. Let's have it. Let's talk about revolution.
This just hours after meeting with NATO Chief Mark Rutte at the White House.
Let me be absolutely clear. He is clearly disappointed.
Hey, Jackie Boyle, thank you so much. Can I get some green hearts of courage for Jackie Boyle in the chat, please? Thank you. Thank you so much, Jackie Boyle. You are so incredible. I was just thinking about you yesterday, Jackie Boyle, because of all the call-in shows. I was like, maybe Jackie Boyle would call into one of my call-in shows. We do a call-in show here at 1 p.m. I'd love to see you. Can I get some green hearts of courage for Jackie Boyle in the chat for supporting the channel and supporting independent media and supporting yours truly, the most devastatingly handsome anarchist who ever walked the earth. I am the most devastatingly handsome anarchist who ever lived. Good morning. I'm the most. I should go ahead and introduce myself like that every morning. Good morning. I am the devastatingly handsome anarchist Skyjack Morgan, an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate, and I love you. I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're here to resist. And this is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. Thank you. Don't push it, Sky. Well, look how much I qualified it, right? I said anarchist. Like anarchist, I think I'm the handsomest anarchist. I'm the handsomest anarchist. Oh my God. Ding! I'm going to TM that. I'm going to trademark that. The handsomest anarchist. I'm going to put that on my tombstone. I'm going to put that on my website. I'm going to put that on my driver's license. I'm going to put it on my license plate. I'm going to paint it on my car. It's going to be a lot of cars. Handsomest anarchist. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it the handsomest anarchist.
And with many NATO allies. And I can see his point. But at the same time, I was also able to point to the fact that the large majority of European nations has been helpful with basing, with logistics, with overflights, with making sure that they live up to the commitments.
Is the world safer today than it was before the war was started?
Absolutely. Because
NATO. Oh, NATO, you're so cute. Yeah, it's totally safer. Do you feel safer, America? Let me ask you this, because I keep on seeing people. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Let's see what you think. A new poll. We're going to put a new poll. Do you feel safer since the war started? Yes. No. Okay, put a question mark there just because we're proper here. All right, here we go. Start the show, the poll. Let me ask you, do you feel safer now that the war has started? Yes or no? Number 1 is yes, 2 is no. Let me know how you feel about that, because I keep on hearing Trumpster maggers. I keep on hearing maggers tell me that, oh, yeah, we feel way safer because they're not going to get nukes. I don't feel safer. I feel like there's going to be a false flag. I feel like people are going to cut my head off if I go to a Muslim country all of a sudden. I feel like we're not in good with most countries. A lot of people hate us right now. I feel like that Donald Trump just gave permission to kill Americans, as if like it's wabbit hunting season, it's Yankee hunting season. I think that's what has just been declared. Or do you feel safer now that the war is started in Iran? I'm talking about Iran. Okay, we got mostly no. Edward, I think you got to put 2, maybe 2. I got a lot of 2s. It looks like the no's have it. I only see the poll on your screen. Yeah, you only see it on the screen, but when you put it in here, it changes. When you put an answer in the chat, it changes the bars here. Do you see it? It's pretty sexy. I feel like a hostage, but to be honest, just holding my breath for the last 14 months. Well, we are in a hostage situation in America. That's just how it works, man. We're always 200 times 2. All right, looks like the 2s have it. Thank you so much. It looks like the 2s have it, baby doll. I don't think that we're safer. But NATO says we're safer, everybody. 90% says we're not safer. Okay, that's a good.
this is thanks to President Trump's leadership.
Oh yeah, thanks to President Trump's leadership. Don't forget to kiss his ass while you're. Is he here? Can I kiss his ass? Like, can I pucker up? Is he here now?
This morning, an arrest following the desperate search for a missing American woman, 55-year-old Lynette Hooker, who vanished at sea 5 days ago. Overnight, a lawyer for her husband, Brian Hooker, confirming that he was arrested.
Oh no, they arrested. It's always the husband.
By the Royal Bahamas Police Force, saying Mr. Hooker categorically and unequivocally denies any wrongdoing, adding he has been cooperating with the relevant authorities as part of an ongoing investigation. Earlier, authorities in the Bahamas saying the arrest is related to the disappearance of a female who was reported missing from an 8-foot hard-bottom dinghy. The U.S. Coast Guard confirming they're also conducting a criminal investigation into the disappearance of Miss Hooker. The couple were avid sailors documenting their travels on social media. According to investigators, Lynette went missing over the weekend.
Brian Hooker telling authorities she fell overboard their small boat and was swept away by strong currents, taking the boat's only key with her, forcing him to paddle miles back to shore for help. Lynette's daughter, Carly Aylesworth, raising questions, telling NBC News her mother was a fit person, an experienced sailor who was unlikely to just fall overboard. She also alleged the relationship between her mother and stepdad Brian could be unstable.
They have a history of not getting along.
Carly says when her stepdad first broke the news to her, he sounded monotone and relaxed.
All
She
right.
also shared a voicemail. She says he left her after her mother's disappearance.
What do you think?
I found the flotation device that I threw to Mom when she fell overboard, and so they haven't found her yet, but they can now focus all of their efforts in a smaller area.
Brian Hooker's lawyer also saying in a statement to NBC News that his client denies all of the allegations raised by his stepdaughter. In his own statement posted on
All right, so his stepdaughter thinks that he killed his wife. What do you think? Would you rather be stuck on a boat with a man or a bear? Let me know. Are you seeing my comments? I see this one, Jen Main. I see this one. The dude offer, right? Would you rather be on a boat with a man or a bear? What do you think? Because I don't know, man. That guy definitely killed her, right? That now they arrested him. But Jen Main says bear. A bear, yeah. Would you rather be stuck on a boat with a man or a bear? Everyone says bear. What kind of bear? Well, I mean, all bears are kind of vicious. A panda bear, pandas will rip the shit out of your face. A koala bear might be the only bear that I could think of that's like a cuddly little guy. But even koalas will mess you up, and they'll give you chlamydia. You know, they'll scratch your face and give you chlamydia. That's why it's really dangerous in. Like, if you go to Australia, make sure you pack your antibiotics and make sure you don't have antibiotic resistance, okay? Bears are more predictable. Jackie Boyle, bears are more predictable. Like, you could put a bear in the galley, right, and, like, lock the door, and the bear's not coming out probably, right? Can bears swim? I don't know. I've seen some bears swim. Why not? I think bears could probably swim. Most animals can swim naturally, except for humans. Most animals can swim. We're the only ones who need to be taught because we're big, dumb animals. How big is the boat? I don't know. All right, so it looks like the bear has it. People would rather be stuck on a boat with a bear than a man. Makes perfect sense to me. All right, thank you for that. We're going to stop the poll. Wonderful. I'm glad that we've gotten to the bottom of the bear and the bear on the boat. Paddington Bear. I would love to be on a boat with Paddington Bear. He always brings marmalade sandwiches. I do like Paddington. He's cute AF, and he's such a pleasure, and he's a wonderful conversationalist. For some reason, that is a well-read bear. He knows his Shakespeare. He's an interesting little guy, that guy.
Facebook, Brian Hooker says he's heartbroken, adding, despite desperate attempts to reach her, the winds and currents drove us further apart. We continue to search for her, and that is my sole focus. Lynette's daughter pleading with the public for any details that may lead to her mother's return.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I don't think
Right now, the US and Iran are...
That mom ain't alive anymore. She's been missing for 2 days at sea. She's not alive anymore. I'm sorry. And the bear killed her. I mean, the man killed her. A bear wouldn't have killed her. You just need to do it before to forget being in the womb. I don't think we should have started the Iran war, but what can they do? It's wrong, but it's like a 6 foot, 300-pound dude bullying Stephen Hawking. What do you do then? You keep going? They still don't know if giraffes can swim. No joke. Because giraffes have never been dropped off. You'd think that human beings would be evil enough to drop a giraffe off in the ocean to see if they can swim. I don't know if a giraffe could swim because their legs are so long. They don't ever have to. They just walk around the bottom. Elephants can swim. I don't know. Most animals can swim. They just figure it out.
Under a 2-week ceasefire. That agreement came hours before President Trump's deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
And tonight there are reports of oil traffic through the strait blocked again after
We want oil. If you don't give us the oil, I'm going to kill everybody.
a new wave of Israeli attacks
This isn't about oil, though. It's about nuclear weapons. But give me the oil or everybody's dead.
against Lebanon. Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire deal.
I mean, imagine if you were like pointing a gun at somebody and you're like, give me all your money. And you're like, okay, is this all about money? Here's the money. Well, no, it's not about money. It's about the fact that your shoes that you're wearing, I don't like your shoes. Okay, but then, do you want my shoes? No, I don't want your shoes. I just want you to give me the money. So this is about money. No, it's about the shoes, man. I don't like your shoes, but give me your money. Okay, take the money. Are you going to leave me alone about the shoes? No, I'm still going to shoot you over the shoes, but give me the money.
This video shows the aftermath of attacks today in Beirut, where Israel is targeting the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah. The U.S. says the ceasefire will...
Oh, the Iran-backed military group Hezbollah. If you don't know about Hezbollah, I'll give you a short little history about Hezbollah. So back in the day, they used to just go in, like Israelis used to just go into Lebanon. They just kept doing it. They just kept going in, like an unwanted. They just kept going into Lebanon, and finally, the people were like, "No, we're not going to let this happen." And Lebanon, the government's not helping us out, so we're going to build our own army. And so they got together with some Palestinians, and they all got together and they built a little army. And that army was very, very popular because people were very, very pissed that Israel wouldn't leave Lebanon alone. So now they got this Hezbollah, and it's not really part of the Lebanese government, but it kind of is, but it's not. You know, it's one of those situations, the Iranian-backed militant group. But the problem is that they run into, because they aren't technically part of the Lebanese government, and because the Gazans ain't got no money, the Palestinians ain't got no scratch. So what do they got to do? They got to get money from somewhere. Who do they go to? Iran, because Iran has money from the oil. That's it. The Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah. Scary. Meanwhile, Hezbollah's like, could you all just leave us alone, please? We just want to be... Like, I know they're scary, but that's how I want you to be. I want you to be scary. I want you to be intimidating. Don't just, like, you don't have to do much. You just have to look tough and say, leave me alone. Like, I could teach every woman to be like, to look into a man's eyes and be like, don't fucking touch me. Fuck off. I wish that I could have, if I could teach every woman that skill, I would do it. Because I've seen so many women just be like, hee, when it's like a really creepy dude, like rolling up on them. But no, I need look into their eyes and say, don't fucking touch me. And that's Hezbollah, right? Hezbollah's like, don't come in here. We're going to murder you if you get into our, don't come into Lebanon. And they keep on getting bombed. Like, Israel keeps bombing Lebanon. What has Lebanon done to Israel? Nothing, really. Not much. Nothing recently. And really just protecting Palestinians mostly. If we'd stop, the militant Iranian-backed militant group.
Stay in place only if the Strait of Hormuz remains open.
The president was made aware of those reports before I came to the podium. That is completely unacceptable. And again, this is a case of what they're saying publicly is different privately. We have seen an uptick of traffic in the Strait today, and I will reiterate the president's expectation and demand that the Strait of Hormuz is reopened immediately, quickly, and safely.
Just
want that oil.
Iran also accused the United States of violating parts of the ceasefire.
I thought this was about nukes.
Pakistan is mediating ongoing negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. The two sides could meet in the next few days. After the ceasefire was announced, the price of oil dropped, stocks soared, and today the price of a barrel fell below $100.
Stocks soared. Oh yeah, it's still $4.16 on a national average. It's still $1 higher than it was when we started. Okay, so let me see. Now it's $4.16. So gas prices haven't really gone down. Yesterday, $4.14. Today, $4.16. No, what the fuck are we talking about? It's still up.
The price of gas still up. National average, $4.16. That's actually up 2 cents from just yesterday. It's up 10 cents from a week ago.
What we're all seeking, which is that this ceasefire...
Oh, trust me, I'm the reasonable one. My name is Keir Starmer, and I've got an English accent, so I'm smarter than all of you. Trust me, I've got an English accent. Don't do anything to me. Haven't you heard that the English accent is very peaceful these days? And when you hear this accent, we automatically assign extra IQ points. You can trust me because I'm Keir Starmer and I have an English accent.
It should be not a temporary ceasefire, but a permanent ceasefire. On top of that, we have to acknowledge that this war wasn't our war, but my job is to protect the UK. It's already had an impact on the UK, and it's very important we get the Strait of Hormuz open. There's a lot of
I thought this was about nukes.
Work to do there.
International Public Goods Hub. I requested swift action to secure the safety of all vessels, including those related to Japan. So desu ne.
Sur le détroit d'Ormuz, l'Iran a annoncé être prêt à débloquer celui-ci, ce qui est une bonne chose. Et nous travaillons depuis plusieurs semaines à mobiliser nos partenaires en Asie et en Europe, dans la région.
Been working on several weeks to mobilize
et participe à
Current
la
mobilize the
planification pour le pilotage de la
participant
France pour
planning of
permettre
France's
justement la
leadership.
mise en
Great.
œuvre d'une mission strictement défensive.
Macron, all the leaders of the world are like, we want Hormuz open that shit up. It's all about the nukes though, but we want the oil. But this is about nukes. Give us the oil. But it's about nukes. But we're going to dedicate all of our resources to procuring the oil. I can't believe there's still some maggers out there that believe this shit. I just can't believe it.
En coordination avec l'Iran,
Encore.
pour permettre de
All right, Macron, they're all happy as pigs and shit. They're all happy as clams at high tide. They're all happy as I always like pigs and shit. I never hear anything better. Everyone's like, Sky, pigs don't like hanging out and shit. But isn't that a great term? Happy as a pig and shit. Like, I love that saying. I know people gonna get on my case because pigs don't like shit. But they seem pretty happy when they're just wallowing around in big pools of shit. So, I mean, they seem pretty happy to me. I don't know. Oh, man, the midterms. Midterm madness. Now that March Madness is over, midterm madness. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for midterm madness? It's going to be so good.
A candidate in the race for Michigan's open U.S. Senate seat caught a lot of attention at rallies he held yesterday after they included what many see as a controversial speaker. 13 on your side, political reporter Josh Albertus joins us now with those details. Josh.
Yeah, Julie, at those rallies at MSU and U of M for candidate Dr. Abdul El Sayed featured streamer and political commentator Hassan Piker, whose past comments have appeared to split party leaders on whether to welcome his brand or shun it.
Okay, so do you guys like Hassan Piker? Is Hassan Piker... Everyone's talking about, is Hassan Piker a left-wing freak? What is... Hassan Piker's still a capitalist, right?
I'm Abdul El Sayed. I am running for U.S. Senate.
Tuesday, the former Wayne County health official bringing his message to college campuses.
When they tell us we can't get super PAC money out of our politics, we don't back down. When they tell us that we cannot stand with our union sisters and brothers, we don't back down. When they tell us we can't guarantee health care in the richest, most powerful country in the world, we don't back down.
But the presence of content creator and political commentator Hassan Piker brought these rallies much more attention and controversy.
And just as
Why are people so upset about Hassan Piker? Is it because he beat his dog? Not a fan of Piker. You don't like Piker because he beats his dog, though, right? Everyone says he beats his dog. He's like the Kristi Noem of content creation. What do you guys think? No, Hassan is socialist communist, I believe. So what's the big deal? Hassan is pretty base but boring to watch. He is. Piker is not vegan, so he's a hypocrite. Okay, pretty much. Sky, he did shock his dog. He didn't shock his dog. Is that true? I don't know, man. He did have a shock collar. I know he has a shock collar on that dog. I don't know if he shocked the dog, but he does have a shock collar. And I still think, even if he didn't shock the dog when that thing happened, he still puts a shock collar on his dog. And, I mean, an invisible fence is cool, but I don't think that's why he had the shock collar on the dog. The dog was wearing a shock collar. Whether or not he shocked the dog is kind of moot after that, right? It doesn't really matter. Thanking Trump for lower gas prices, but the gas prices didn't go up. They're still high. He's responsible for the high gas prices. Yeah, I know. It's like I punched you in the face, knocked out all your teeth, but then I gave you some ice, so I'm the good guy.
morning, I don't know if you've been watching the Twitters, but apparently the most important thing happening on Twitter was whether or not we were going to campaign with Hassan.
Piker has faced repeated pushback for past comments that many have deemed anti-Semitic, including a post to X in early January about Israel that read in part, quote, Hamas is 1,000 times better than the fascist settler colonial apartheid state. Both Piker and El Sayed painting controversy over Piker's appearance at the rally as a detraction from other issues.
Just this morning, the president talks about wiping out a whole civilization.
To some he felt were negatively focused on his appearance, Piker saying this.
To all of them I say, they are united in their hatred of not just me, but all of us, and I welcome their hatred.
Piker's appearance has divided Democratic leaders.
Why are Democratic leaders divided on... do I have to ask Google? I don't know. Graham Plattner. Isn't Graham Plattner the... Is he the oyster farmer that had the Nazi tattoo? Is that Graham Plattner? Is that Graham Plattner, the Nazi tattoo guy? The oyster farmer? No, I don't like that guy. No, I don't like that guy. I feel like if you have a Totenkopf tattoo and you're an oyster farmer, no. Seeing Hassan up there makes me laugh. But why? What is the big deal?
and the field running for the seat. State Senator and candidate Mallory McMorrow telling Jewish Insider, quote, Piker is a provocateur, to put it lightly, who says things that are misogynistic and anti-Semitic, and said that the United States deserved 9/11. Congresswoman and candidate Haley Stevens telling the publication that Piker is, quote, the exact opposite of someone I'd be campaigning with. El Sayed telling his audience at the University of Michigan that his movement is built on love for people.
All of us love and revere Jewish folk, our Jewish neighbors, the faith of Judaism. But that love and reverence for the Jewish people is founded in a love and reverence for all people. So how dare I say that I love the Jewish people without standing up against the genocide against Palestinian people?
And after one of the rallies, El Sayed reportedly told Politico when asked about Piker's views that he was not there to disavow people's views.
Dems are scared of Hassan because he criticizes them from a further left position. Then they can deal with their... Is that why? It just seems... I felt like this report was a little lackluster. Why are people upset about Hassan Piker appearing with that Abdul candidate? Hassan Piker appearing... Why are people upset? Looks like there aren't many great matches for you. Hassan Piker controversy heats up Michigan Senate race. But what's the big deal? Why is I know who Hassan Piker is, but I don't really remember him saying that he does. He says that the American people deserved 9/11. I mean, I don't think we deserved it, but we don't really. We should learn a lesson from it, right? I don't think we deserved. I just don't really like Hassan, his poor doggy. Okay, so it seems like most people are just about the dog, I guess. Dems are not left-wing, that's why. That's true. He shocked his dog for not sitting still. He had a shock collar on the dog. I think it's still questionable whether or not he actually shocked the dog on camera. The dog yelped. But, as far as I'm concerned, if you got I know people live on farms and they have, a shock collar on the dog so the dog doesn't run too far away, and they get kind of like a reminder not to go too far. That I understand. It's a little weird, but I can kind of get that, like the invisible fence. But if you have a shock collar on your dog in the house, I think you might be a weirdo. Why do you have a shock collar in your apartment? That's a behavioral, that's a punishment thing. There's no other reason to have a shock collar on a dog inside a house unless you're enforcing your will on the dog because of behavioral issues or perceived behavioral issues. So, I don't know. I grew up with dogs. My mom had so many dogs. I have had so many dogs in my life, and we never used shock collars. We did sometimes use choke collars for training purposes, and I'm against those too, by the way. Never pinch collars, but it's weird. You just don't like his overall vibe. Yeah, I get you. His dog trainer is the same as another streamer who has been tied to abusing his dog. Oh, shit. Yeah. Fuck people who use shock torture. Yeah, because that's shock torture, right? That's shock torture. The whole point of the shock collar is not to torture the dog. It's to build an invisible fence so that the dog doesn't run off into the wilderness and die. But what people do instead, they put it on the dog inside their homes, and every time the dog acts like a dog, they shock the dog, and that's fucked up. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care about Hassan Piker. I don't really care about him either, but he's in the news, so I figured I'd talk about him, right? I mean, it's just a news reaction show. I love you, Parallelish, but this is my reaction. This is just my reaction of it. No big deal. You should look at the clip of him talking to the Vietnam refugee. Another thing to add to the dog issue. Really? Yeah, you're going to call in tonight and talk about Plattner? I'd love that, Jen Marie. At 1 p.m., we'll do the call-in show, and then I'm going to do a gaming show tonight. I'm really excited. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. Fair enough, says Beryl Ellish. Fair enough. I mean, this will probably be the last time, hopefully, I ever talk about Hassan Piker, because I've really never talked about him since the dog thing happened, because I don't think he's very cool or anything, and I don't like him, but, we're going to do gaming. It'll be fun.
Before I started my remarks...
Yesterday we did an impromptu chess stream, which I was not ready for, but I played speed chess, while talking to two people and watching the chat, and I still checkmated. So I was pretty proud of myself, to be honest with you. I was pretty proud of my abilities of my chess. So today I'm supposed to play a game called Battle of Polytopia at 5 p.m. But 1 p.m. is the call-in show.
I actually had a special guest that asked that I give him a phone call, and we'll see. Let's hope he actually answers. So this is going to be very embarrassing. All right.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Fucking JD Vance. You know he planned this shit. All right, Donald, listen. I'm going to call you. I'm going to be on stage. I'm going to call you with the phone. It'll be a great bit. Just answer the phone, okay? Just answer the phone and we'll have a convo right there on the stage.
Okay. Try one more time. Hello, Mr. President. How are you? Mr. President, you are on with about 5,000 Hungarian patriots, and I think they love you even more than they love Viktor Orban.
Well, I can't believe.
Victor Orban is an evil dictator. Like, I don't really want to go into everything horrible about Viktor Orban, but if you're loved more than Viktor Orban, that's like saying you're loved more than Hitler. They love you even more than they love Hitler.
I can't believe that because I love Hungary and I love that Victor. I'll tell you, he's a fantastic man. We've had a tremendous relationship and he does a job. Remember this, he didn't allow people to storm your country and invade your country like other people have and ruin their countries, frankly. He's kept your country good. He's kept Hungarian people in your country. And he's done a fantastic job. And let me tell you, I like him a lot, but if I didn't think he did a good job, I wouldn't be making a call like this. But boy, that sounds like a big crowd, and that sounds like my kind of people.
Here goes your inventory.
This new video into our newsroom could be a critical piece of evidence.
I mean, like, Viktor Orban, his immigration policies are like the most important thing. And I guess that's why they always talk about Viktor Orban, because he's always had these, he's crazy about immigration. He hates immigrants. He has a strict zero immigration stance. And he built border fences around the entire country. He is all about anti-immigration. And it's weird because he's come into conflict legally with the EU. And he also hates asylum seekers. He's a pretty nasty dude. He hates democracy. He hates immigrants. He hates pluralism. And Donald Trump loves him. I love that Viktor Orban. I love that guy. Bring back Pence at this point. Bring back. You'd rather have Pence, Mr. I can't be in a room without my wife if there's another woman there. Pence, that guy. You like that guy? Oh, I can't talk to women because I call my wife mother. Do you call your wife? Does anybody in this chat call their husband or wife mother or father? And I'm not talking about, hey, big daddy, or hey, mommy, or hey, poppy. None of those. I'm talking about mother and father. Have you ever called someone you're sleeping with mother or father? Just asking. It's okay. No kink shaming here. But I don't think he's doing it because it's a kink. Maybe he is. Maybe Mike Pence is just like super kinky. He's just kinky AF, and that's why this is all weird. What do you think? No? Great. Okay. Soros paid for Orban's education. I don't know, but that sounds true. Sure, why not? No, but I call my mom wifey. Awesome, man. That's nice. Nice. Call your mom wife. Call your mom wifey. I've never called my mom anything other than mom. I never called her mommy. I never called her mother. I never called her Frau Mama. I never called her mama. It was always mom. I never even called her by her first name, I don't think. Yeah. You call your mom Sharky? That's kind of fun.
In the fire that destroyed a warehouse.
Yeah, Sayard, sure, I believe it. Yeah, I mean, Soros, whatever, Soros, yeah. I'll leave the daddy talk out of this. I mean, I love it when they call me daddy, but that's different than calling your father, as an adult woman, calling your father daddy is creepy, man. I don't know. But calling your husband father, hey there, mother, it's so weird.
House in Ontario. It took 175 firefighters nearly 15 hours to put this fire out. Yesterday,
Yeah, I mean, didn't your boy John Oliver just do a whole thing about Orban? I mean, he showed all the young pictures of Orban when Orban was a leftist. Yeah, I remember all that. I forgot about it. I remember the Soros thing too. Soros really liked him, paid for his education. Yeah. I don't know what relevance that has. Orban today is not a good guy. I mean, look what happens. You know, you got it. You put your money in the wrong buckets, and look what happens. I would call my man father. I couldn't call my man father, right? Right? Don't call your man father. Daddy. Okay, I like that. But That's kind of cute and playful. Father?
The contractor is now facing several arson charges. NBC4's Christian Casares has the very latest on the investigation.
This is one of my
New
favorite
video on
things.
Social media has surfaced of what appears to be inside a warehouse as someone is going around the room starting several fires.
Play the
while talking
audio.
about their salary.
All you had to do was pay us enough to live.
I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head, man.
We caught up with Alex Montero on Wednesday, who says he was working the night this Kimberly-Clark warehouse along Hellman in Ontario caught fire. Montero is stunned to see this video because this person, he says, is his fellow co-worker, Shamil Abdul Karim.
There goes your inventory.
I just got done talking to him. He had just came over and helped me out with my truck. I was 5 doors down from him.
Fire officials say the fire started on Tuesday just after midnight and quickly grew because of the large amount of paper products inside the warehouse that fueled the flames.
So Kimberly-Clark, you think it sounds like a woman's name, but it's not. It's two guys' name, Mr. Kimberly and Mr. Clark. They started this company with 2 other men. Kimberly-Clark sounds like a nice woman-owned business or something, but no, they own Kleenex. You've ever heard of Kleenex? In America, we call facial tissue Kleenex no matter who makes it, because Kleenex is such a big company that we just call facial tissue. Every time you blow your nose, give me a Kleenex. That's how big Kimberly-Clark is. And they haven't paid their people. And so this guy is saying, if you paid us enough to live, I wouldn't burn down your buildings. And he just burned it down in front of everybody. 150 years ago. Yeah, it was like 118. It was like 150 years ago. Yeah. It was a long time ago. But, you know, those guys got to be old age, and now they're just a multinational giant company that sells paper products. They're rich. Anyway, we call it Kleenex. They own Kleenex, and they weren't paying their people, apparently. And they burned down, one of the workers got so pissed off, he burned down the building. A 1.2 million square foot building.
They called break-in. I went outside, sitting in my car, and not even 10 minutes go by, and I heard the alarm.
It took crews several hours to get the fire under control, even using drones to extinguish the hotspots after all 20 employees inside were evacuated. Moments later, Ontario police arrested Abdul Karim for arson.
I mean, if you think about it, I don't mind this. I just don't mind it. If you're not getting paid enough and you burn down the building, I don't know. I mean, I'm not telling everyone to go out and do structural damage, but I mean, if you're going to do structure damage, I mean, what do you want? Do you want us to, after the billionaires, like, do you want us to do Luigi Mangioni's, or do you want us to do arson? Like, you get to pick, like, which do you want us to do? Because if you're not going to pay us, somebody's going to have to get there. And they have insurance. That's true. They have insurance, but then their premiums will go up and stuff like that. And it's going to disrupt still going to disrupt their cash flow, right? It's still going to be a problem for them. Insurance will help them build their building. Like, I knew a guy who owned a sawmill, and it burned down. Sawmills burn down sometimes. His sawmill burned down. It was a big, devastating thing that happened, and insurance company paid for it, but it was really upsetting because now they only insure what you have, but to rebuild, you have to rebuild to the existing code. And it's going to cost you a lot more money to build, but they're only insuring what you had. Do you understand? So now you might get money covering all the shit that you had and everything, but meanwhile you're not bringing any money in because your sawmill's not operating, and you have to somehow make the liquid shortfall up in order to make new structures, new buildings, because now the building code has changed and the machines are different. The sawmill machines are different. All that stuff's different. Now you got to pay more money. The same thing's probably going to happen with this. So it's not like insurance just patches everything up, right? It's still going to suck for old Kimberly-Clark. The insurance racket, yes, insurance racket. It's a racket, 100%. You don't actually get the money that you paid, and you pay your whole life, right? And then when it comes time to cash in because you burned your building down, that doesn't mean that you just it doesn't mean that everything is all hunky-dory or that you're ever made whole. You're never truly made whole. And that's, yeah, grand arson, 30 years Fed time. Yeah, this guy might get more time but I hope there's a trial. I can't wait for this guy to come out and tell us what Kimberly-Clark did to him that's so bad.
And tonight, Kimberly-Clark says the distribution center was operated by a third-party logistic partner, NFI Industries, and added that a response team has been activated to help relocate impacted workers and minimize customer and consumer impact.
How long have you been working there with the company? About 3 weeks. Yeah.
3
We
weeks?
started making good money, dude. You know, they called us hoping to relocate us to another warehouse. You know, but if anyone else is hiring, you know.
New at 4, Murrieta police arrested a shoplifter at a Home Depot and in the process may have cracked a nationwide crime ring. Police say the suspect would buy a leaf blower, remove the battery, and then return the item. Police say they found nearly $500 worth of stolen batteries in his car, and they also discovered he'd been traveling across the U.S. doing the very same thing.
Wow, just stealing batteries? That's crazy. That's interesting racket. When I was a kid, man, people used to do this. Like, I never did it, but they used to go to like Walmart and buy car speakers. And then they would put the speakers in their cars and then take the old speakers from their car that were shitty and they put them back in the box and then returned it to Walmart. Oh, man. I always thought that was... I never had the guts to do stuff. I've never been such a great, thief. I mean, I always thought if you're going to steal from Walmart, go ahead. I don't care. But, I don't know, or Best Buy. For anybody with a decent return policy, you can run that scam. But... I don't know. It's always seemed a little... I never liked doing stuff like that, you know? The circle keeper. You hate right-wingers? Well, baby doll, you're in the right place. Baby doll, circle keeper. You stick around. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Skyjack Morgan, independent news and culture commentator, free speech, critical thinking advocate. I'm the handsomest anarchist. And all you got to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and become a channel member. Skyjack City Rebels. Sky City Rebels, join the cause, dignity-based resistance over here. Thanks for being here. You're the best. Don't become the people you hate. Yes, one must be careful whilst fighting monsters that one doesn't become the monster. Indeed. Don't stare too long in the void, because the void stares back.
2 questions. One, kind of housekeeping. Since you are announced as the acting attorney general today.
This guy, okay, so Todd Blanche is Donald Trump's personal sex crimes attorney, and now acting, God damn it, now he's the acting attorney general. Because Pam Bondi's getting fired. Weird.
When is Pam Bondi's last day on the job? And is this a position that you would like full-time?
So there's a bunch of questions there. So I am the acting attorney general. As far as
Say it again.
Pam Bondi's last day on the job, I'm the acting attorney general.
Say it again, one more time. That's 3 times.
Going with her. We're traveling together tomorrow to a pre-scheduled event. So she'll be with me tomorrow. We've been regularly communicating over the past several days for an appropriate transition. She is very much a big supporter of this department, like she was last Thursday morning. She remains the same, and I expect that will continue. As to whether or not I want this job, I did not ask for this job. I love working for President Trump. It's the greatest honor of a lifetime. And if President Trump chooses to keep me as acting, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir. So I don't.
Ugh, gross. That's how you talk to your boss? Does anybody say that to their boss? Hey, use me, abuse me, bend me over, go ahead and stick it in. No lube, I don't care. Put me over the barrel, give me a town, go to town, buddy. And at the end, they'll say, thank you, I love you, sir. Does anybody say that to their boss? Is that something that you say to your fucking boss? Do you say that to... I don't say that to anybody. I wouldn't even say that to one of my parents when they were alive. I wouldn't have said that to my parents. You say that? Use me any way you want. You can do this. You can do that. You can bend me over. Do whatever you want. And at the end, I'll say, thank you. I love you, sir. I mean, this sounds kind of like... This sounds like a BDSM thing. Is this a BDSM thing? It sounds like a BDSM thing. No, I'm not into her. Smooch the taint. Love you, sir. I mean, what is that all about? Your boss? I say I love you to some of my friends. Nurse Rod, did your gas prices go down over there last night? It's all up right now. Literally refusing a subpoena. Yes. Well, she's in contempt. The hell, strippers don't sit on into their boss like that. Yeah, seriously. Sounds like Christy Gnome's hubby. Oh, God. Strippers literally don't say that to their boss. I mean, I've had employees tell me they love me, but not like, use me, abuse me, do what you want to me. I don't care. I mean, what is that? Gross, man. It's the honor of my lifetime to work with. That is so obsequious and disgusting. God damn it.
Have any goals or aspirations beyond that?
Breaking news, a shocking and violent end to a chase.
Look at this guy. There's the cops. Cops are chasing you down, everybody. Make sure you do your right. Make sure this is a terrorist. Terrorist. What this guy do? We don't know. But the cops, they got new toys they're going to use. Let's see if this toy works. They got this new toy.
In the Inland Empire, I'm David Ono.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. It appears a deputy with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department tried to use
Dead.
a grappler device to stop this wanted driver. The car went careening off the road and crashed into a wall, stopping just short of a home. All of this unfolding live here on ABC7.
And this is
Dead.
the second violent end to a pursuit in Southern California that we have seen today.
We'll have more on the other one in just a moment, but first let's go live to
Oh, look at that. In California, they're chasing you down and killing you. Every time I hear about this, that it's all great. Yeah, humiliation rituals for sure. Yeah. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez is on the ground in Jurupa Valley, where there is still a very active scene. Leticia.
Yeah, it's definitely an active scene. We're actually in the home that the actual vehicle that you saw after that grappling took hold of its wheel and swung it in.
Man, I'd be so fucking pissed if some asshole cop threw a car into my house. If I my house is right on the street. There's no fence in front of my house. It goes just like I open my door, there's the curb. If some asshole cop threw a car into my house, oh my God, I'd be so pissed off. God damn it. I'd be so mad.
To the home that is right behind over here. That's where the car landed. I just spoke moments ago to the man that was outside in his yard, actually hearing this pursuit, looking over his wall, seeing that vehicle coming towards his own block wall. He actually said he started moving out of the way when the car went right through his block wall, and he was able to get out. Him and his friend are both okay, he said. But as you can imagine, they're both very much still in shock. They said it really got their blood pumping. Let me show you the neighborhood here. You can see there is a huge police presence. We're looking at Riverside County Sheriff's vehicles here in position. We've also seen deputies that are strategically placed in the backyards of some of these homes. We're not going to show you their position for their own safety, but we did actually.
That's totally the cop's fault, right? This is the cop that did this. This guy was just minding his own business, trying to flee from the scene of a crime. Who know what this guy was up to? They don't tell you what this guy did, just that the cops threw a car. Right now, I don't know. Well, they must have been doing something bad if the cops were after him. Not necessarily. Cops do this type of shit all the time.
See that, and looking at this neighborhood, it appears that most people are inside. There are a couple neighbors on the opposite side over here who are actually out of their homes.
Look at this guy.
We have helicopters in the sky, of course.
Why were they doing this? Why were they messing with this guy? You tell me they can't get the driver. They got the license plate. Hey, write down the license plate real fast. We'll catch up with this guy later. Like, they had a helicopter. Just follow the guy home. What's the problem? Follow him home. Knock on the door. No, we gotta catch him right now and throw him into that house over there, hopefully killing everyone inside.
And then over on the actual Belgrave, which runs just to the back of this property, it is closed off to vehicles coming and going. There's a big community here with a park on the other side and lots of
I want to see the other violent thing.
They don't know what the suspect is up to. I'm not sure if they've been able to do any kind of communication with the suspect or exactly why they were chasing this particular suspect. But I can tell you right now, spoke to the man who was running.
Great. We have no idea why they were doing it.
And from his backyard after that vehicle crashed, him and his friend are both okay. They did tell me they are a little worried about who's going to be paying for their block wall.
Yeah,
this is all over.
I'd be
and
fucking.
For now, we're here in the neighborhood.
Who's paying for this? Who's paying for my blocked wall? Sir, you got insurance. Yeah, what do you mean I got insurance? You're the one, you threw a car into my block wall. You know those cops are going to try not to pay. You know that.
Hoping to hear anything either from the Sheriff's Department or from neighbors that might be able to tell us a little bit more of what they're seeing here and how they're feeling at the moment. Back to you guys in studio.
All right, Leticia, yeah, scary and frightening moment for the folks in that neighborhood. Thank you for that report. We'll go back to you. Let's go to Chris Christie.
And they'll try to blame the driver. The driver didn't drive into that. The driver didn't drive into that dude's house. The driver didn't do it. 2-ton rocks work better, man. Maybe that's what we need. Or you know, when you go every town in America has this store called a Target, and they got these big red balls that just sit in front of the Target, so you can't drive into the Target. I think we need. Maybe I should build some of those on my. I don't have room for those balls. I got no ballroom. I don't have a ballroom, but the president's building one for me, and I'm pretty stoked because I've always wanted one. Presidents have wanted ballrooms for hundreds of years. The American people have spoken over the hundreds of years, 250 years of this country. We've always wanted a ballroom, and we're finally getting one. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you.
Watched the whole thing unfold. This is a really unique pursuit, Chris.
It really is, David. I want to walk you through the final moments of this pursuit really quickly and help you get your bearings. We're about midway along Belgrave Avenue between Wineville and Etiwanda, and just moments before this vehicle came to this crash end, he was stopped at the intersection of Etiwanda and Belgrave. He was stopped.
Yeah, man, I'm high on life, Shandy. I'm high on life.
For about 5-10 minutes at least. A lot of law enforcement around him, but they did not place anybody in front of him, nobody blocking the intersection. And then after a few minutes of a standoff, he kept on going. The officers got back in their vehicles. He picked up some speed, and a little bit further down Belgrave is where they laid down.
A new cop car costs $120,000? Jesus Christ. This is what I'm talking about. That's because they're all look at this. Why is there a tank on the scene? Why do they have an armored vehicle? Look at this. This is a military vehicle. How are we okay? Like, how are we okay with this military vehicle being here? Why the hell is there a straight up army truck here? Well, we need one there because this guy's obviously a threat. You picked up his car and you threw it into another house.
A spike strip, that white Cadillac, ran right over the spike strip and presumably would have started to run out of air in those tires. But within seconds of that spike strip, another sheriff's deputy pulled up right behind the left rear wheel of that vehicle and deployed a grappling device. It's known as the grappler, and it's meant to tie up the wheel and the axle and bring the vehicle to heel. It did not work. It was a failed attempt. It really amplified the situation as he really was pressing on that gas pedal to try and evade that grappler. And once that grappler made contact with the vehicle, he lost control, went over the oncoming lanes of Belgrave Avenue.
This is so ridiculous. Fucking cops. Military is there for the two guys who were in the house. Yeah, exactly. Those guys in the house are lucky the cops didn't come and shoot them. Oh, sir, this guy was driving towards the house. You threw the car into the house. Get on the floor. Like, I mean, that's the update from the Humvee. Who makes the new all-purpose for the U.S. Army? Yeah. It's just so ridiculous now. This is what we got to deal with in America.
Some Americans are protesting the war in Iran and President Trump's domestic policies by putting their money where their mouth is.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Put your money where your mouth is.
As part of a call to sit out of paying federal taxes this
Man, I don't want to pay. I'm thinking about not paying. I don't want to pay any taxes this year. Why do I got to pay taxes? I don't want to pay taxes.
year. I'm Rachel and I'm not paying my federal income tax this year.
It's time that we stop paying our taxes. Tax Strike 2026. Spread the word.
On social media.
Spread the word.
They'd rather put the money
Spread the word, honey. Tax strike.
into a savings account, donate it to a charity, or simply keep it for themselves. Anything instead of handing it over to the federal government. It's called war tax resistance, a type of protest that's been around in some form since the colonial era, spiking around the Vietnam War when folk singer Joan Baez famously refused to pay 60% of her taxes, reportedly leading the IRS to file a lien against her. Lawyers and accountants say following in her footsteps could land you in big trouble, but advocates say interest is now surging again.
You're going to be in big trouble if you don't give us your money for our war effort. We need $1 trillion a year in order to bomb people in Iran, in order to bomb schools. These schools don't bomb themselves. School children don't just blow up. We need to blow them up. And that is why we need your tax dollar. So please pay your taxes this year, everybody, because we need $1 trillion a year in order to maintain peace and stability in the region. You know what I'm saying? It's not about oil. It's not about oil. It's about nukes. It's about nukes. Trust me. We need the $1 trillion. Give us the $1 trillion. It's about the oil.
For the invasion of Gaza, we would typically have 40,000 unique users visit our site on an annual basis. This past January, we had the most visits to our website that we've ever had, over 110,000 unique users.
Lincoln Rice leads the National War Tax Resistance Coordinating Committee. The anti-war group has been around since the early 80s. It just recently held its largest ever training on just how to resist.
We offer War Tax Resistance 101 trainings. It'll cover the legal method, which would be essentially putting yourself in such a position as not to owe taxes.
The IRS tells us measuring the size and scope of this type of program.
It's not illegal not to pay it. It's just illegal not to file. All right, Smoking Blondie, I'm taking my legal advice from you right now. I'm going to file but not pay. Oh, I know they're going to fuck me. I never have my shit in order because I'm poor. They always rape me. I had to file an extension for my taxes again. I'm pretty hesitant. Shit. I'm just going to do TurboTax or HB or whatever I always do. I don't know. I think I use HB. I don't know. HR block. I don't know what I do. Stupid. Here, every year you got to fill out this insane questionnaire. And at the end, it's like gambling. You're like, we might owe you and you might owe us. Let's find out on this game show. You're probably going to owe us. Trust me. We're not giving you any money back. We got to bomb some schools in Iran. Those little girls' schools are so bombable, and Tomahawk missiles, they do have an expiration date. We have to use them before they expire. You can't just let Tomahawk missiles sit on the shelf without using them. Why do we use them? You own a firm? Fuck yeah, Smoking Blondie. I'm not gonna pay. I'm only gonna file. Love it. Great. Sounds like Wayne Shung situation. Wayne Wayne Chung waiting around to get arrested, standing around waiting to get arrested.
Protest is not feasible only a month into the war. For some, it might mean pulling legal levers to lower their tax bill. For others, it goes a step further.
Essentially, we're going to strike. We're striking on taxes.
Neetu Sharma says she decided this year to stop withholding federal taxes from her paycheck.
Resisting is a privilege, and not everyone can resist in the same way. So having options and still being able to take action was great.
Her reason, she says, is where her tax dollars are going, even before the war with Iran started.
We were sending a lot of funding and arms.
It's funny. You know what's crazy? Like 6 months ago, I was saying that people aren't going to pay their taxes this year because of the government shutdowns and all the ICE stuff. And here we are 6 months later. I think I might have said it 8 months. Does anybody remember me talking about this? And now it's in the news. Again, I called this shit, man. What percentage of people would have to resist paying their taxes in order to make it kind of scary for the federal government? What does Google say to that? See if I get an AI. Based on the structure of the U.S. federal tax system, a tax resistance movement involving 10 to 25% of top-tier earners or a massive broad-based refusal of over 30 to 40% of all taxpayers would create significant, scary disruption for the federal government. Okay, so we only need to get 10% of the millionaires or 30% of the po folk. I think we could do it. Let's do it. And I'll just file and not pay. Yeah, it depends on who's doing it, I guess, because there's top tier and bottom tier, you know. You don't have to pay it. You just have to file it. I guess that makes sense because they give you time to pay it. You can just be like, okay, well, I filed. I owe you the money. I acknowledge that, but I'm not going to pay it. What are you going to do? Throw me in jail? Throw me in jail. I make good money. File 0, claim 1. When filing, plus I take $250 per week in withholding. I get $12K every year. God damn it. I don't get shit. So I don't know. I'm glad someone's making out. I'm glad you are. Good for you. You should become a channel member. No donations for your favorite #1 news reaction show on YouTube. You're making all that money. Make all that money. Spread it around, pal.
To other countries instead of taking care of the people at home.
While it's impossible to track exactly where your individual tax dollars go, last fiscal year, the Treasury says the federal government collected about half of its revenue from individual income taxes. About $900 billion went to defense, according to the Office of Management and Budget. It's the government's 5th biggest expense behind other big-ticket items.
Yeah, I know, because I know people who are living in debt from the IRS. I know people who live like that. They just live in debt from the IRS and just can't pay it. I think they pay like something. As long as they're paying something, then the IRS doesn't come really mess with them, doesn't repossess their shit. But what are they going to do? No one goes to jail for not paying. They do go to jail for tax evasion, though. I guess, I don't know how that all works. But if you don't pay your own taxes, you aren't going to jail. I'm into it. It's only illegal to falsely file returns. Good. That's good. I'm not going to falsely file a return. I'm honest as Abe Lincoln.
Like Social Security, Medicare, interest on the national debt, and other health spending. Sharma says her protest isn't about avoiding taxes altogether.
I'm still paying state taxes, and I believe state taxes are something that we should continue paying.
Are you worried at all about going to jail potentially?
I was at a point. The IRS does not have the manpower to go out and audit every single person. And
that's true too. I mean, the IRS they fucked themselves. We just gutted the IRS. What are they going to do about it? They don't have guns.
Look at who's not paying federal taxes.
Sharma believes her approach is legal, but experts say not paying the taxes you owe is anything but.
The law does not care what your motive is.
Well, they said in the beginning of the report, you can put it into a savings account. You don't need to put it in escrow. You won't get any interest. And the government will charge you interest, so you might as well put it in an interest earning account, right? Put it into crypto. Buy Melania coin. I'm not going to pay my taxes this year. I'm just going to buy Melania coin because I'm against the war, but I want to put it in a very safe, what do you call it? Asset. Here's my financial advice for you. Don't pay your taxes because you're against the war and against ICE. Instead, buy Melania and Trump coins because that type of asset is only going to the moon, folks. You'll have tons of money once the IRS catches up to you and forces you to pay your taxes. You'll be a millionaire because everyone knows that Trump coin and Melania coin go into the moon, baby. Are you ready for it? I hope you're ready for it. Melania coin we're going to the moon.
For either not filing
It's
or
mooning.
not paying your taxes.
The IRS and legal experts say avoiding your
Ape in.
taxes could land you with a laundry list of penalties, including fees, getting your passport revoked, and in some cases, jail time. If you were to
Just a touch. Just a touch. Just a touch. Just a touch. More straight. Straight. More just a touch. Has anyone seen the Melania movie? Just a touch. Just a touch. Straight. Straight. Sharp. 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 Just a touch. Just a touch. Just a touch. Just a touch. Fucking the whole movie is her yelling at her staff about the wardrobe.
offer any sort of legal advice to some of these protesters, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, push a candle through a paper plate and go to a vigil and sing. Don't refuse to pay your taxes. That will land you in prison.
So as this protest gains traction online, the real consequences may happen offline when taxes are due. Ali Canal, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live.
Oh, great! I'm glad that someone else is talking about not paying their taxes. I'm not alone anymore. I feel like they see me. You see me.
So tensions are heating up in the Middle East as Tehran accuses Israel of violating the ceasefire deal by striking Lebanon.
So Iran's president warning that continued attacks will bring, quote, explicit costs and strong responses and will make...
How come we always have videos of all these bombs, but we never have videos of peace talks? You ever notice that? No, trust me, we're in negotiations. Is there any video? No, we couldn't get video. But you could get all this video of all these bombs?
Negotiations meaningless.
Chief foreign correspondent Trey Ying's live in Tel Aviv with the latest for us. Hey, Trey.
Epic Fury!
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. A significant statement just now from Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian saying that if Israeli actions in Lebanon continue, that it will render the negotiations that are set to take place on Saturday in Islamabad meaningless. Yesterday, we know the Israelis conducted dozens of airstrikes against Hezbollah positions inside of Lebanon, not just striking the southern Dakhla neighborhood in Beirut, but really the entirety of the country, including the Bekaa Valley and closer to the Israel-Lebanon border. The IDF says they also killed Ali Karshi, the secretary to Iran's largest proxy, Hezbollah, and that is the secretary to Hezbollah, and not the secretary general, but of course this is a top official, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says these types of strikes will continue with more goals to complete. Take a listen.
We have more goals to complete, and we will achieve them.
What are the goals? What are the goals? What are the goals?
By agreement or by renewing the fighting. We are prepared to return to fighting at any moment necessary. Our finger is on the trigger.
Why are these warmongers always telling me they got goals? I got goals. What are they? Can't tell you. I mean, don't you work for us? I mean, we pay you, right? Like, if I ask one of my employees, what are your goals? And they're like, I can't tell you. But you do have them, right? Yeah, we got goals. I got lots of goals. What are they? Not going to tell you, but I'm going to kill for them.
With talks this weekend scheduled in Islamabad, Pakistan, the president overnight took to Truth Social to say, quote, all U.S. ships, aircraft, and military personnel with additional ammunition, weaponry, and anything else there is appropriate and necessary for the lethal prosecution and destruction of an already substantially degraded enemy will remain in place and around Iran until such time as the real agreement reached is fully...
Yes, ooh la la, Hezbollah. Lebanon was part of the ceasefire, and Israel's breaking the ceasefire because Israel doesn't believe in ceasefires. Thousands of people have been murdered by Israel in Gaza since the ceasefire, since all of the Israeli hostages were released. Remember? Oh, release the hostages and then we'll stop. No. All the hostages have been released and they have not stopped. What the fuck? Like, ceasefire. There's no such thing as a ceasefire with Israel and America. Never has been.
Complied with. Now, there is a lot of focus today on the Strait of Hormuz. Yesterday, 4 vessels were allowed to pass through, but the Iranians are still saying publicly they're in control of the strait and that it is closed right now. Vessels have...
Yeah, you got to do SMART goals at your work. I used to have to do these okay, come up with 3 SMART goals. SMART goals. Let's do it. Sir, I'm a bartender. I know you're a bartender, but we got to come up with some goals. How about let's read a book about cocktails this year? Huh? Let's read a book about, like, I don't know. I had to make up their goals all the time and get them to sign this thing for their annual. I had to do those stupid annual check-ins with my staff and make 3 SMART goals for them. I mean, come on. It was so stupid.
To check in with the Iranian military, and other reports indicate they'd like to charge a toll for vessels to pass through this critical thoroughfare. Vice President J.D. Vance yesterday talking about new threats against Iran before the negotiations begin.
I encourage the Iranians to come to the table seriously. We've seen some signs that they're good.
I thought you guys were at the table together. What does this go? I encourage them to come to the table. I thought you were at the table already, JD. Donald Trump said you were already at the table with the Iranians. Now you're saying, please come to the table?
We're going to do that. We've seen some signs of bravado. Fundamentally, we're in a good spot. They're reopening the straits. We have a ceasefire. And frankly, if they break their end of the bargain, then they're going to see some serious consequences.
48 hours before.
come to the table and negotiate, but if you break your end of the bargain, there's going to be consequences. But we're already in negotiations. But why don't you come and negotiate? What? They said Kamala Harris had word salad. That was word salad. None of that made any sense. How are we... Kamala Harris had word salad. J.D. Vance just dropped a whole logoria on us. Logoria. You don't usually get to use that word too often, but that was logoria. Logoria. Word diarrhea. Mouth diarrhea.
Before negotiations are set to start in Islamabad, Pakistan, this is the situation. The Strait of Hormuz right now appears to be closed. Additionally, the atomic energy chief for Iran says that they will continue to enrich uranium in direct contradiction to what President Trump said yesterday. And just moments ago, Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, said the negotiations will be meaningless if the Israelis continue their operation against Hezbollah. Guys?
Yeah, Trey, the president also said in that same statement, according to Reuters, we will not abandon the Lebanese people. So, I mean, the deal is over before we even start.
Yeah. It is still over
Look,
before.
The Iranians are known for not
it's over before we even started, and it's not the Iranians' fault.
being good faith negotiators.
Yeah, the Iranians are the ones that aren't good faith negotiators. They were negotiating. First of all, they had a negotiation. They had a treaty, and we ripped it up. And then we had negotiations for another treaty, and we bombed them in the middle of negotiations. So who was negotiating in bad faith? The Iranians have a history of bad faith negotiations? The fuck?
And this is the challenge for the Trump administration. We heard yesterday Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary at the White House, laying out the U.S. plan to send a top-tier delegation to Islamabad, led by the vice president, J.D. Vance, with special envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, to try and get a deal done. The president, once again, is extending an olive branch to the Iranians, an off-ramp in this conflict, understanding that there are still more than 50,000 U.S. forces in the region that at a moment's notice could...
Why are you talking shit? If you live in the United States, why don't we all get along? Because they're fucking killing people in the street, Andrew. They're taking away our rights. The modest rights that we have in this country, they're taking away. They're shooting our people in the streets. They're calling us all terrorists. Why can't you just shut up and get along? Duh. Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
Start firing again if ordered by the president. And once again, the Iranians do not appear to be taking this very seriously. There's a very clear agreement here, and an updated agreement, we are told by U.S. officials. The points that the Iranians were putting out over the past 2 days were described to me as propaganda. They're trying to spin the negotiators ahead of these in-person talks in Pakistan. And so what we know here is that the commitments the Iranians made are not being adhered to ahead of these conversations, and it does raise serious questions about if they are willing to make a good faith agreement. But the president didn't.
Bullshit.
People in line at Chick-fil-A ended up dodging bullets this morning. Now,
what? Don't go to Chick-fil-A. You'll have to dodge bullets. That's me telling you, don't go to Chick-fil-A. If you go to Chick-fil-A, you're probably a homophobe. Do you remember when Chick-fil-A got in trouble for not allowing gay people into their restaurants? Remember when that happened? People still go. People still go to Chick-fil-A. It's just so funny that corporations can do whatever they want as long as they put enough MSG inside that chicken flesh. Then you'll go and line up around the block, won't you? They're shooting people at Chick-fil-A's now. You'll still line up around the block, won't you? To eat out of a paper box, to eat a dead, old dead chicken out of a paper box. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. They got the Chick-fil-A sauce, huh?
A 44-year-old man is in jail, and the restaurant, well, it's closed. It happened after 8 o'clock this morning in Gwinnett County inside the restaurant on Scenic Highway in Snellville. Channel 2's Aaron Rodgers is live there right now. Aaron, police say they're surprised by this shooting.
They are, Karen, because it happened at 8:20 in the morning. As you can imagine, this restaurant was packed with people. And take a look through here. You can see it all unfolded right in front of the cash register.
It's wild, honestly. I mean, it's sad.
People and police alike.
Shocked.
Surprised
Shocked.
that unfolded at the Snellville Chick-fil-A just before 8:30 Tuesday morning.
There were several people inside.
2 of those people, police tell me, got into an argument.
We're standing in line to order food directly in front of the cash registers.
Then police say the victim got physical.
He punched him, and then the suspect pulled the gun. Once the victim realized that he had pulled a gun, he was turning around running for the door, and the suspect was firing at him.
The victim got shot once, but should be okay. Police arrested 44-year-old.
Snellville, man. I don't know. Should we eat live chickens? If you're going to eat them, I think you should eat them live, like a lion. You know, if you want to be a lion, eat them live, feathers and all. If you're going to eat a chicken, eat the beak, eat the feathers, eat the bones, eat the feet, eat the whole chicken live. Yes, of course you should eat them live because you're a carnivore, right? Of course. What's all the sauce for? What's all the fire for? What's all the machinery for? Yes, go out. First of all, catch the chicken with your bare hands, and then with your little monkey fingers, either break their neck or just bite. Start eating, just like a lion, just like a cat would, you know, because you're a carnivore, just like an alligator, you know. You don't have to do all of the pluck all the feathers, you little pussies. If you're gonna do it right. Do it. Go for it. Cats don't eat the feathers. Yeah, they eat some of the feathers. I've seen them eat the feathers. They eat some of the feathers. You're right. They don't eat all the feathers. They do eat some of the feathers. They're like, I've seen a cat eat a bird. They're like, but you don't get to boil them is the point. You don't get to defeather them. You got to just bite in and spit out the feathers. You got me? That's how you got to do it. How do you think animals evolved, dude? By killing the weaker animal. What? Like elephants? Like gorillas? They don't kill other animals. What are you talking about, Nicholas? What animals are you talking about? Most land animals do not kill other animals, stupid. God damn. Is this stupid day today? is this stupid day? Animals evolved from killing other animals. Duh. No, that's not how evolution works. Go back to fucking high school, idiot. Jesus. I can't even go read Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. It's a quick read. It's written in 1860s English, so you could probably understand it, probably, maybe. I don't know. You seem pretty stupid. Anyway, go for it. So carnivore. Which carnivores? Which ones? Which animals are you talking about? The ones that, like lions? Which ones? God damn it. Carnivores make up a tiny fraction of the land animals on Earth. Most animals in the sea are omnivores. They eat whatever comes their way. Most animals on land are opportunistic. They just eat whatever they can find. So even like a cow, the cows eat fish because we feed them fish. We go into the ocean, we catch fish, and then we feed them to cows. It's fucking crazy. But now cows are the largest sea predator because humanity is fucked and we're fucking weird bastards. So we do that. Meanwhile, cows, they can digest some animals because they eat, and sometimes they come across, they're not really paying attention. They maybe eat a little mouse by accident, a dead mouse or some insects. They do that. Chickens are the same way. They eat grain and they eat little grubs. They eat whatever's kind of in front of them. That's not evolution because they're hunting animals. They just, most animals just going about trying to get their nutrients, trying to get their vitamins. That's it. Ain't that hard, folks. Ain't that hard. But yeah, if you are afraid of being killed at a Chick-fil-A, well, then stop killing chickens, you cowards. All you apex predators. I love all these idiots that are like, I'm an apex predator, and then they wait in line in their car around a Chick-fil-A. Duh! Like a fucking zombie. They're like just bloated corpses floating around the moat. You're just like a floating corpse found in the Thames. You're just in the river floating by, and then you float by the Chick-fil-A and they feed you in a fucking paper box like you're on Wall-E or something, and then you just, it doesn't even resemble a chicken. It's like 60% of it isn't even chicken, right? They've done all these studies on it. Most of it's vegetable matter and soy, but you want chicken, so you eat you had to kill an animal for it. Somebody did, not you, of course, because you're a piece of shit. Apex predator, and then your fucking bloated body floats out the other side of the river, and you're like, I'm an apex predator, though. I evolved for this. This is the peak evolution. My peak evolution is floating like a corpse in line at the Chick-fil-A so that some minimum wage worker hired by a religious zealot can fucking feed me a dead animal in a paper box. Super cool. Yeah, this is evolution, folks. It's great. God damn it. So disgusting. Anyway, in Snellville, they're killing people at Chick-fil-A.
Jamal Jenkins in the restaurant.
I don't understand why people are so on edge these days, so angry.
I spoke to a man with Chick-fil-A off camera who told me the staff is shaking.
Maybe people are on edge and angry because no one seems to value the sanctity of life anymore. If a chicken's life doesn't matter, then why does a human being life matter? If life doesn't matter, that's a principle. If you have that principle that life doesn't matter unless you can make money off or derive pleasure off of somebody else's life, like you do with chickens, then why not kill a person? I mean, if it's not sacred, if life isn't sacred, then what's the difference? A cow is a boy, is a rat, is a chicken, is a man, is a woman. It's the same. It's all just animals that want to live. So if you don't care, go ahead. I don't know why people are on edge. I don't know why people are edge. There are animals that are killed on site because they have a huge in number and cause issue on the environment. If we get rid of it, it'll ruin the ecosystem. Nicholas Wilburn, again, I don't know how old you are, but you talk like a 14-year-old, man. Listen, the reason why there are animals that are overpopulating is because we killed all of their predators in order to make money off of livestock. Like chickens, for example. We killed all the foxes. Or, like cows. We killed all the wolves and all the large cats. We do that because we basically put out a buffet for them. We have domesticated animals that we have bred to not have any kind of defense. They have no defense anymore, and they're very nice animals because we bred the nice ones so that we can easily kill them. So we bred these super big, nice animals called cows, and then we put them out there on the range, and we don't build any defense for them because that would be too expensive, but it's cheap to go kill all the fucking foxes and vultures and large birds and large cats and wolves and coyotes. We kill all of them. But what that does is it blows up the deer population. So now you got too many deer because you killed all the predators to save the cows, you morons. Jesus. I mean, God damn it. Holy shit. Yeah, you kill all of them. You kill the leopards, the jaguars, the cheetahs. Yeah, you know that jaguars, there used to be a shitload of there still are some in Florida, but they killed most of them. Why? Because of the cattle industry. Anyway, it's just so sad.
But everyone is okay.
If you don't respect life, don't expect someone to respect your life. If you don't respect life, don't expect someone to respect your life.
It worries me.
Roger Peacock works nearby and says he pulled up to see police everywhere.
There was cars in the back, and they wouldn't let anybody in here, and there was people walking all over the place at Chick-fil-A.
He says
Good point. There you go. The United States Constitution gets violated every day. Why not pew up whatever you want? Why not? We're lawless. There's no law and order. There's no law. It doesn't matter how many cows you've seen in Florida, boss. Yeah, thousands of cows in Florida, boss. Hispanic humper. I've been to every city in Florida. I spent half a year in Florida touring Florida in a truck, and there's lots of fucking cows. Lots of cow country in Florida, buddy boy. Lots of horse country, too. There's Ocala, for example, has 600 horse farms. Lots Hispanic humper. Florida's a big state, and there's lots of different types of industries there, and the cattle industry is one of them. Thanks for playing. I bet you thought you had me, huh?
goes to the Chick-fil-A often and just ate there Monday.
The way people act now, it's not surprising.
Police want people to put the guns down.
Worth, going to prison for murder.
Like, there's a reason why Ron DeSantis wears cowboy boots everywhere, and it's to remind everybody how much he loves his cattle ranchers. Like, that's why he does that, because he wants to stand in solidarity with his cow folk, his cattle ranchers.
Aggravated assault for years. I mean, it's just not worth it.
Again, this Chick-fil-A is closed, but it will reopen tomorrow morning at 6:30. As for Jenkins.
So the business as usual. Yes, we know someone got murdered at the Chick-fil-A and that we are literally selling the corpses of murdered animals. Don't worry. Business will continue as usual tomorrow. Sorry about the murder. Get in line for fresh murder. It's a shame about the murder. Long live the murder. Let's do it. Nice.
He is facing several charges, including aggravated assault as well as reckless conduct because he shot into a restaurant packed with people. Reporting live in Snellville, I'm Erin Rogers, Channel 2 Action News.
Are Democrats trying to goad President Trump into
Oh my God, the Democrats are trying to do something with Donald Trump. Oh my God.
starting the war with Iran?
Fox News, I love the 5. I love the Fox 5. Fox Force 5.
Folks seem very fond of a certain taunt implying that the president...
Look at this. I love this. They put the picture of the president looking tough and then all the bombs right underneath. Fox News, A++++++ on the propaganda. You put the word taco on there, and it makes it sound like you're going to talk about him chickening out. But then, only Chick-fil-A chickens out. Chick-fil-A doesn't chicken out. They're gonna open up shop tomorrow. They don't care how many people just got murdered. Taco taunts, and then they show his tough face, wearing his big tough face, and then the bombs. Oh my God, it's fucking brilliant. Good job, Fox News.
Out.
The Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays, as our president.
Trump is backed off, and there will be some who will call it, taco. Trump always chickens
Taco.
which is making way too light of it, but it is also a truth.
Donald Trump just caved. President Trump's critics have coined the acronym TACO for Trump always chickens out.
The fact that he can say with a straight face that we're winning this war is pretty absurd.
And the media is also serving up one of their most head-scratching comments yet on the conflict. MS Now anchor Lawrence O'Donnell taking issue with Pete Hegseth's "Leave No Man Behind" motto to describe the daring airman rescue.
We leave no man behind.
The daring airman. God bless the daring airman. Do you remember when Donald Trump said that John McCain was a loser because his plane got shot down? I wonder if he said that about our daring airmen.
That is, of course, the old school version of the idea back when only men flew American military planes. General Dan Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, put it this way.
We leave no one behind.
The general knows, unlike Pete Hegseth, that could have been a woman they were trying to rescue, and it might be a woman the next time.
Greg, you want to hit that last ball out of the park?
Finally, someone says what everyone's been thinking.
I mean, it's true. I mean, no man left behind and no one left behind is a situational awareness that the military man Raising Cain had. General Cain is educated, and Pete Hegseth is not. That's what it comes down to. General Cain understands that he has women in his command. And Pete Hegseth is a rapist. Like literally paid off somebody who brought a case against him for raping her. Like admitted to it, like paid her off.
But you know what? He didn't go far enough. That's right. No trans. What if they leave no trans behind? You don't know. Don't make some
Trans. When you say no one behind, trans are covered in that, moron. This is Fox News. If you leave no trans behind, if you say leave no one behind, that means everybody, morons. This is Fox News for you, man. This is how you know that they're always going to see us as a hierarchy, that white men are at the top and everyone has a little place on the way down, all the way to the bottom until you get to the animals, till you get to the chickens. Then maybe lower, then you get to the snails and slugs, right? There's a big hierarchy and they put everyone in a little slot. Where are you on that slot? Where are you on the Fox News slot, huh?
assumptions that the pilot is one of two biological sexes. Do we even know what you're talking about? I would hate to be them. Because you're constantly trying to put a...
Them? How dare you say them? You'd hate to be them? You mean like they, them? Are you with they, them, or are you with us? How dare you use that pronoun? How dare you? On Fox News, you can't say them.
Square peg in a round hole, and then you just finally fail and decide...
Square peg in a round hole?
And then you stop.
Oh, God, that's gay. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. Oh, God. Oh, everything you say is charged now. Everything you say. Oh.
Is that, you know... Would they rather have Trump annihilate the country? No, but then there's peace, and now they redefine peace.
Ooh, rib tip. Okay, plants are people too. You know, it's funny. People like to say that shit, right? Plants are people too. And, you know, what's interesting is there is actually kind of valid arguments about forests having personhood, but maybe not individual trees. And so how do we navigate that ethically? Or maybe a river has the right to exist. Does a river have the right to exist? Do we have the right to destroy a river? Do we have the right to do with the river what we will and the entire ecosystem in there? Does an ecosystem have personhood? Is a river a person? I mean, you get to these big questions sometimes and you really get deep. I'm glad you're on that track. I'm glad you're thinking about these things. Do you think we should give pain medications to every turnip when we rip them out of the ground? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that ripping a turnip out of the ground is the same thing as ripping the head off of a screaming cat? Is that what you're saying? I don't know where you're at, but I love that your head's in the game, Rib Tip. Thanks for playing. Keep on thinking. Think critically. Ask questions. Question authority. Challenge the status quo. And uproot the mainstream. Don't let them tell you how to think. A lot of people are thinking about whether or not the Amazon, for example, just has a right to exist. Does the Amazon have a right to exist? Or do we have the right to kill everyone living in the Amazon and cut down all the trees? I mean, what do you think? Does the Amazon have a right to exist? Should I make a poll? Let's make a poll really quick, everybody. Let's make a poll. Does the Amazon have a right to exist? Does the Amazon have the right to exist? Like a right to life, you know? Yes. No. Let's do it. We're going to put it on the screen right now. Let's see. Does the Amazon have the right to exist? Let me know in the chat. You just put a 1 or 2 and we can see it rise right here. Let's see. Just put a 1 or 2 in the chat and we'll see what you think. I don't know. I'd love to think. No interest in things with persons. Yes. You say yes. Interesting. Okay. Okay. We got a yes here. Let's see. You yes or no, 1 or 2 in the chat. Let's do it. Let's do it. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. We're getting a lot. Oh. It seems like a lot of people say yes. Interesting. Most people are saying that Amazon has a right. Interesting. Do you have to have the ability to defend your rights in order to have rights? No, you don't have to have the ability to have. If you have rights, you just have to hope that others acknowledge your rights, really, and hope that people don't abridge your rights. Like women always had rights. Men just abridged those rights, took those rights away. Black people always had those rights. White people just took those rights away for hundreds of years. You know, like they always had them. We just didn't acknowledge them. So you don't have to be able to fight for your rights. You just have to know if you have them. Columbine Supreme Court in 2018 ruled the Amazon has a right. Yeah. I know a lot of people like to talk about courts and everything, but let's see. It looks like almost 100%. Lord have mercy. You guys are revolutionaries. My golly, you guys are extreme. My golly, all say yes. 100%. 100% say yes. Remarkable. Sky, you have to fight for your right to party. That's true. You gotta fight for your right to party. Yeah, right. 100%. Wow. I expected at least a couple people to say something different, but you know what? Good for you. Good for you. Nice. I'm going to stop the poll right there. Nice work, everybody. Amazon has a right to exist. So plants, in a way, do have rights then. Sort of. Kind of. So I guess Rib Tip was kind of onto something there. Nice. The river. Oh, I was thinking about the Amazon forest, but the Amazon River, same thing. River, forest, it's all the same thing down there, isn't it?
As something bad. It's, I don't know. I call it strategic ignorance, which is they pretend they don't
Dan the Shark, did you vote, man? There was a voting. Did you vote?
know what's going on. You know, they don't know what Trump's already done. They don't know what people are trying to do. So we have this responsibility every day to explain to them what's going on. And we know it wastes people's time to have to go through and go like, these are patterns that you've seen before. And, they have nuclear weapons. It's just like, But if they don't have strategic ignorance,
they have nuclear weapons. They have nuclear weapons. Got to throw that in there. Nuclear weapons. Even the Fox News people don't believe it anymore. Fox News, they have nuclear weapons. They're not even pretending like it's about the nukes. Nobody believes you, Donald Trump. We all know it's about the oil. Stop saying it's about nuclear weapons, please.
My thing is, I would like to see the Jimmy Kimmel that calls Trump a psychotic debate Jimmy Kimmel, who calls him a chicken, because we don't need to get involved in that debate. Yeah. They're just debating each other.
That's what I was going to say, Jesse. Like some of these people in the
Donald Trump chicken now. He's a pussy. Fuck
morning
him.
On when they were on television, they were saying President Trump is a war criminal. And by the
he is a war criminal. Like almost every president's a war criminal, though. He's in a fancy club of war criminals.
end of the day, they were saying he was a chicken.
Be sure.
You could be a war criminal and a coward. Most war criminals are cowards. Most cowards do stupid shit that hurts people. I mean, most wife beaters are cowards. Like, you can't call him a wife beater and a coward. Yeah, most wife beaters are cowards. Most people who hurt others only hurt those who can't defend themselves. You ever notice all the assholes waiting in line at a Chick-fil-A would never harm a fly because they have to pay some undocumented worker to slit the throats of the chickens all day, and then they'll bitch about Somalis. Like literally 17,000 Somali people were taken to Minnesota in order to slit chicken throats all day. That's why there's a huge Somali population in Minnesota. You ever wonder why there's so many Somalis in Minnesota? It's because they work at the chicken factories. And so they slit throats all day. That's who could take those jobs. That's who would take that job. And so we lured them in and we told them to cut the throats of chickens all day. And then they start getting involved in their communities and they start running for office and they start opening businesses. They do all sorts of shit. Because we lured them there with chicken throat slitting duty. And then some assholes waiting in line at Chick-fil-A bitching about Somalis voting for the MAGA Republicans. Some MAGA eating at Chick-fil-A who's eating a chicken whose throat was slit by a Somali in Minnesota. Jesus Christ.
President Trump announced a double-sided ceasefire with Iran last night. Yeah, a double-sided ceasefire, which begs the question, what the hell is a single-sided ceasefire?
Yeah, good question. It does beg that question, Gutfeld. You're absolutely right. Also, how much is a contract with the American government worth? Turns out the paper it's written on. And these days, contracts are digital, man. There ain't no paper. It's worth nothing. A contract or treaty with the government of the United States of America is worth zero.
It sounds like something a speech therapist makes a brat with a lisp say 10 times. Single-sided ceasefire at the seashore. So will this ceasefire hold? Maybe, maybe not. Let's be honest. This truce is as temporary as my restraining order.
Steffelson, factory farming, you might as well just say fucking animal production. There's no such thing as factory farming anymore. It's all factory farming. When 99.9% of all animal production is factory oriented, it's all of it. There's no such thing as non-factory farming. People always say that, and I'm not calling you out, but people always say that, like, factory farming's bad. All of it's factory farming is bad. Like, I mean, it's all of it. That's all. That's 100%. There's no like family farm where old Uncle Jim just slits one pig's throat a year or something because he wants to, that's just not a thing that actually happens anymore.
Order against Taylor Swift. Bitch won't leave me alone. But even a crappy ceasefire beats a civilization ending. Of course, you would know that from the media. Because when the ceasefire was announced, their story changed faster than Trey Gowdy's hairstyle. And all those yakking jackasses who called Trump a maniac for threatening destruction are now calling him a chicken for hitting the pause button. Will there be some who call it taco?
There will be some who will call it, taco. Trump always chickens out, which is making way too light of it, but it is also a truth, which is...
Well, yeah, everyone knows it's taco, and it's chicken out. Donald Trump chickens out of it. He's a flip-flopper.
That he makes giant threats that he does not follow through on.
Donald Trump just caved, backing down from his fake deadline.
This did not happen because of Congress, which barely made a whimper.
It was a fake deadline. It was always a fake deadline. I said that the day it happened.
This happened because of the force of the American people.
It was the Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays. Our president decided not to drop the chili.
Nobody even understands that joke. So first these dopes say war is bad, but now I guess peace is worse. 1 minute Trump's a homicidal nuke-slinging maniac. The next...
I do think it's funny that Greg Gutfeld has the nerve to say no one gets that joke. I mean, literally, I watch Gutfeld every day, and nobody laughs in his own audience. Like, don't you have an applause sign? Don't you have a laugh line? Like, just force them to laugh.
Next sees Tim Walz deserting the fight. So what's that tell you? Could it be that they've learned nothing in the last decade, and their hatred of Trump blinds them of any clear thinking? Or is it that they pretend they've learned nothing? It's called strategic ignorance. They pretend to know less than one does to avoid accountability for their own dumb thoughts. You see this a lot, this deliberate failure to grasp the obvious. What do you mean by biological sex? What does woke even mean? Drag queen story?
Does this guy's just all about the trans people lately, huh? Trans. You can really tell when the maggers are realizing they're fucked because of gas prices and stuff, they're cranking up the trans rhetoric. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that the trans record is way up? Well, every day he broadcasts, not every day. He doesn't broadcast every day. But of course I watch him every day. Yeah, every single day I watch him. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm a fan. I'm a Gutfeld fan. I have to.
How is that sexual? And here it is again, an obliviousness to Trump's style.
Was that sexual?
Which demands clarification from us, because we get it. We know that Trump is a 2-hour drive for an hour at the beach. Sure, there's too much traffic, the road's bumpy, and the AC's broken, but you've been to the beach and it's pretty awesome. Sunshine, cold beer, free hypodermic needles. But
who isn't? Yeah, exactly. Gutfeld is a pedo. Is he? I never heard that before. Yes, and the Islamic, true, Islamophobia is at an all-time high too. But that's because we're bombing Islamists, radical Islamists. We're bombing Islamists. Kamal. Yeah. I live on a farm and vehemently abhor how things are done. Everyone should grow their own food and trade and barter. It's amazing what you can grow in a small amount of space. Frankie Berry, I couldn't agree more with that.
It's pointless to explain because the derangement filter still morphs reality towards one conclusion: Trump bad, even if it means contradicting themselves minutes later. Meanwhile, you and me, the people who sat back, hope for the best.
Show me an example of that. Show me an example of them saying Trump bad and then contradicting themselves and saying, actually, he's good.
Had faith. We maintain consistency and, most important, our sanity. Which brings us to the real question. What's the right response to the same old disingenuous bad faith BS? How about so? If you respond to every Trump panic with so, you'd be right and calm every time. Trump said in a post, so. Trump threatens annihilation, so. Trump called the Ayatollah gay, so. Fact is, your existential prediction.
So it's embarrassing. So calling him gay is homophobic. So we're murdering children. So that's the answer. This is why I think Greg Gutfeld's a great stalking horse, man. He's always playing these games where he's like testing the waters for what they can get away with.
Predictions never materialize, so why bother? Every time Trump's out of sight for 2 hours, they act like he's on life support. They continued their frenzied terror with tariffs, snatching Maduro, bombing the drug boats, as if he hadn't proven them wrong with the same sequence over and
You call them drug boats. I call them civilian boats. He was killing civilians.
over. He applies pressure using America's economic and military supremacy as leverage, and then lo and behold, the other side submits, at least for now.
Who has submitted? Has anybody submitted? The Strait of Hormuz is closed.
So despite
Gas prices are $6.50 where I'm at.
whether this ceasefire holds, we know this. Iran's military is now as threatening as Adam Schiff in a tank top. There's no Navy, no Air Force, no political leadership, the missile stockpile, new capabilities done. Those are the deeds, none of which the whiners would undo. So instead, they focus on language. But as Trump has shown, his is the only language rogue nations understand. And if CNN or MS Now don't, I got one word for you. So?
So who cares? Who cares if we're killing a country without any reason? Who cares if we're dumping $1 billion? We're dumping $1 billion in the desert every day. So Donald Trump raped children and was a co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. So Donald Trump raped children. So all right, Greg, that's a great position. Great rhetorical device you've just stumbled on there, Greg. Great job. Greg Gutfeld went to UC Berkeley, that liberal hotbed of a university. He graduated, I think, 10 years before me. Let me find out when he graduated. When did you graduate? How old is Greg Gutfeld, and when did he graduate from university? He's 60 years old, and he graduated in 1987. Holy shit. He graduated 20 years before I did. He's 60, dude. But he went to Berkeley, and he got a degree in English, too. He went to the same university. He's probably had the same professors as me. And this guy, I bet you he had some of the same professors as me. For sure he did. If he graduated in 87, he absolutely had some of the same professors as me. Dude, I have to meet Greg Gutfeld. I want to do a show with Greg Gutfeld so much. Where's your proof? Hope you get sued. What proof of what? That Donald Trump raped children? We have eyewitness testimony. We have the victim's testimony. We have the Epstein files. We have the call logs and flight logs that put him at the scene of the crime. Where's your evidence? We need a trial to get all that evidence into the public record. But there's lots of evidence. Boatloads of evidence. Mountains of evidence. Mountains. Why are you okay with the president being mentioned even once in the Epstein files? He's mentioned over 1 million times in the Epstein files. They put him at the scene of a crime of putting an infant overboard in Lake Michigan. That they dumped an infant over the side of the fucking boat and Donald Trump was there. That's evidence. Now, you could choose not to believe that evidence, but that's what a trial's for. That's what we do. We collect evidence and then we go to trial. But we haven't indicted. We haven't done anything. No one has faced any repercussions for the Epstein files. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell might not even be in prison right now. Do you know she's there? Because, man, a lot of people think that she's living free up in Alaska. Epstein, he might not even be dead. That little orange flash, maybe they didn't go in and kill him. Maybe they kidnapped him and swapped bodies. We don't know anything right now because why? Because the government's covering up what happened. So maybe we should interview Pam Bondi about this. No, we're not going to be able to interview Pam Bondi about this because they fired her in order to keep her from testifying for now until they can, burn more files or something. But yeah, no evidence. No evidence at all. Don't forget to like it and subscribe it. Hit that thumb button. Like and subscribe. She is free. A lot of people think she's free. And if she's not, they say that she's got puppy dogs and pussycats over in her camp. Guess who won't be testifying as the Attorney General? Exactly. Guess who won't be testifying? Oopsie daisy. Ghislaine not being in her Trump accommodations. That's what I've been wondering. Like the conspiracy theory that I've heard is that someone else is doing her time, and that's why they gave her all of these extra perks, because someone who's innocent is in there doing the time for Ghislaine Maxwell. So I've heard, but who knows? G-Max, how could they get away with switching out G-Max like that? Who knows, man? I read, I listen to this crazy shit. To me, it's just kind of like fun stuff. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what happened, but the point is we don't know. And the fact that we don't know and that there's all this conjecture and craziness around the Epstein files just goes to show that Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi have done a great job of the cover-up. They've done a great job. Bang up job. Period.
Lawmakers on the House Oversight Committee threatening contempt of Congress charges against the newly fired Attorney General Pam Bondi if she does not testify about her handling of the Epstein files next week. The Justice Department tried to give her cover today, saying, quote, because Ms. Bondi no longer can testify in her official capacity as Attorney General, the department's position is that the subpoena no longer obligates her to appear next week. The top Democrat on that panel now threatening to hold her in contempt of Congress. And he may just get support from the Republicans on the committee.
Yeah, she should. I mean, shit, there's enough Republicans out there to hold Pam Bondi in contempt after watching her not turn around and look at the victims. That photo of her with all the victims right behind her, and they're like, could you turn around and talk to them? Apologize, anything? And she just sits there and looks forward. This fucking slime bucket. What a piece of garbage, Pam Bondi. Pammy Joe. Oh, Pamela Joe Bondi.
Least Representative Nancy Mace, who led the subpoena effort in the first place. Congresswoman Mace posting this today. Pam Bondi cannot escape accountability. The American people deserve answers, and we expect her to appear as soon as a new date is set. My political sources are back with me and joined by my legal source, the former federal prosecutor, Ellie Honig.
What do you think? Do you think she has do you think that she should be forced to testify? Should we hold her in contempt? What do you think? Let's do one more poll. I want to know how you think about this. Let's do one more poll. Should Pam Bondi be forced to testify? They subpoenaed her. What the fuck? What difference does it make if she's AG? Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna one more poll before we go. What do you guys think? What do you think of this? Yes, everyone's saying yes already. Okay. Yes. Forced to lie. A lot can happen. A lot could happen in a testifying situation. I mean, testimony is powerful. Lots can go wrong when you have a person in front of another person, a group of people, and she's getting grilled and the cameras are rolling. A lot can go down. I think it's absolutely necessary for our democracy to have these fucking testimonies. And I think we should have the president testify. We had we had Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton's not even in the Epstein files. Hillary Clinton never even met Jeffrey Epstein, and she was forced to testify. But not Donald Trump. Donald Trump's in there a million times. Why is it okay to force Hillary and Bill to testify, but not Donald Trump? Fifth Amendment tells you a lot, though, doesn't it, Nurse Rod? When someone uses the Fifth, it still is. People think that Fifth is a get out of jail free card or something, but answering with the Fifth Amendment still is an answer. She should be charged for contempt for her actions at the hearing with how obnoxious she was, then find her guilty and throw her lying, evil, pedo, simping ass in jail. Cranky Barry, I'm with you. Yeah, she should be in jail right now. Absolutely. The Dow is at 50,000. Yes, she won't have that anymore. She can't talk about the Dow Jones Industrial Average and how great Donald Trump is for America. Yeah, MAGA is a cult. Of course it's a cult. But then again, so are the Democrats. It's all cults. These are all cults. I'm the only one on YouTube telling people to think for themselves and fuck the Democrats and fuck the Republicans. That's why my channel grows more slowly. If I put a big donkey or a big elephant on my shit, I'd have a huge channel by now. But I refuse. Because a pox on both their houses. I want freedom and democracy and liberty. Pam Bondi has covered up Trump since Florida AG. I know. Yes, indeed. So is Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche is the new Attorney General. Thank you. I love you, sir. Do whatever you want with me. Todd Blanche. I can't believe that was his statement. That's how he answers that question. Do you want to keep your job? Do what you want with me, sir. I love you. Weird stuff. She took Florida out of the Trump University fraud. I know the Trump University fraud lawsuit. She's horrible. She's been holding water for him forever. Yeah. It's her ass right now. Whenever you come across someone says, fuck the demo, whenever you come across someone, why says, fuck the demo? Oh, damn, I don't know what you're asking. I wish Sean go, please, what do you mean? Please remember that God and Jesus never loved you. They never loved me. Oh, dang it. I don't know. I thought they loved me. I thought God and Jesus both loved me. Dang it. You need a red cap. And then you save 70 plus million subscribers. It's totally true. If I wore a MAGA hat every day and said that Donald Trump's the greatest, I would have a lot more subscribers and I'd have a lot more money because they really support their people. But here I am. I'm here for the political orphans. The people who are disenchanted with this political system, and they see that the red door and the blue door, the Democrats and the Republicans, there's two doors, but they both lead you to the gas chamber. It's an illusion of choice. But Trump is bad. Yeah, he's bad. Great. I mean, every president's been bad. I'm going to bitch about the president. I bitched about Biden. But it's just going to get worse. The next president will be worse. It's not going to get better because we're stuck in this ridiculous system held hostage by this system. And no one will even talk about overthrowing the system. All we would have to do is talk about it. Boobs. You think boobs would help? Like, who just said that? I just saw someone say boobs. Damn, I lost your. Here we go. Sayard, you think I should get some boobs? I could be like Brian Gnome and put some balloons in there. Yeah, should I do that? Nice. Sell some Bibles in my merch store. Nice, I should do that. I got a shirt in my merch store that says I am Bubba, but no one's buying it. I don't know why. Like, don't you want to walk around the street and saying Donald Trump sucks dick and it's your dick he's sucking? I am Bubba. I think that's a great shirt. I don't know. No one's buying it though. I have one in my merch store. You can come down there. Bimbo-fi. Should I Bimbo-fi? Yeah, Bimbo-fi Sky. I love it. We're going to do that. I'd like some double D's now. I'm thinking about my ex. You want some double D's now? Boobs always work. Yeah, maybe. Oh, you know what, though? I see a lot of women wearing, like, those leotards. They're unitards, actually. Those cat suits that have Spider-Man. They look like Spider-Man, but it's a girl inside the Spider-Man. If I wore a Spider-Man suit, do you think that I would have more viewers and more bigger growth? I don't know. Shameless plug. Yeah, shameless plug. Let's do it. I don't want to imply I had any relationship with Trump, to be honest. Well, I have another shirt that says question authority on my channel, and that's pretty on my channel merch. I like that one a lot. I have a hat that says question authority as well. I love that one. I have that hat. I think that's pretty cool. When I do my gaming show, I'm going to start doing some gaming streams. I'm going to wear my merch more, see if people want to buy my merch. And plus, Parallelish, I got to do that one that looks like the Sky City Rebels. That's the that looks like the college shirt. I got to do that. Did you send me the files on those, Parallelish? Let's figure that out. We should be talking about this in the private stream. We're going to talk about this in the private stream right now. This show is over. Thank you for joining us, everybody. It looks like the ayes have it. Should Pam Bondi be forced to testify? It looks like the ayes have it. Thank you so much for voting on that one. Great work. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. Yeah, bring those viewers. But we're going off. We're going offline right now. We're going to members only right now. It's going to be members only right now. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. See you tonight, Frankie Berry. Thank you so much. Members only. Stick around for the afterglow. Thank you so much to the one and only Crazy Jackdaw. She's been with me for a long time. Thank you for all your continuing support. I love you, Jackdaw. Crazy Jackie Boyle. I love you. Thank you so much for that. And stay safe, everyone. I'll see you in the afterglow. Goodbye. Godspeed, rebels.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.